much, Deputy Speaker.
Honourable members, we do not have quorum. I therefore suspend Parliament to the further reading of the bill.
Honourable members, you may now got quorum. May I ask him, Honourable Member of the Talasia by me prayer this morning.
Okay, let's come before the Lord in prayer. God Papa, long heaven, we come before the presence below you Lord, this morning. We offer him Ogata or leaders of the National Parliament. Mama Blo Mipla, Lord Isla country, today, by Mipla, discussing plenty of very important issues regarding all Mama, all Pikinini Mary, now daughters Blo Mipla inside Lord Isla country. Mipla pray, Lord strong Blo you on top, Lord Ting Blo Ogata, all Pikinini man, now Ausman Blo Mipla to inside Lord Isla country, Lord Luxave, Lord values Blo Mary inside Lord country Blo Mipla. Papa Mipla talk, thank you Lord you, Lord Isla good country you give him Mipla. Wanta mo kata gupla resource na o kata gupla something. Na lo disla, narapla padlo wall, igatwo iboklo come up na lo Middle East, mipla pray lo belisi blo you, antap lo kata leaders blo USA, leaders blo Israel, na leaders blo Iran, na narapla all Middle East country where all iboklo go through lo this blo bigla evi. Give him gupla thinking long lo pan in belisi so that all people blo you can find in peace inside lo bel blongol. Mipla offer him ogata all work lo mipla all leaders to long hand blo you lo this time. Give him good pla thinking, long all ministers blom mipla, prime ministers, all governors blom mipla too. Long make him all good pla work where all people blow you this pla country, he can kiss him good pla sit down, and kiss him good pla life inside long him. Mipla offer him this pla prayer and mipla talk thank you. Long you this pla morning, lo bung him mipla awesome. All people blow you inside this pla big pla house where God mipla represent him. All people blow you long him. Me ask him this pla prayer lo sutla name lo picking him blow you Jesus Christ and me big pla na Savior blow mipla. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, our Lord be in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the power and the glory. Amen.
Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament of the death on 29th November 2025 of Mr. Jimson Sauk, a former member of the Condep Open Electorate. He was first elected to the 4th National Parliament, that's 1987 to 1992, re-elected to the 5th National Parliament, 1992 to 1997, and 6th National Parliament, 1997 to 2002. During those terms, he served as a member of the Economic Affairs Committee, Public Works Committee, Temporary Emergency Committee, and the Emergency Committee. He also served as the Vice Minister for Health in July 1992, Assistant Speaker from July to November 1997, Minister for Home Affairs, Youth and Women from November to December 1997, and then Vice Minister for Administrative Services from December 1997 to July 1998. Minister for Rural Development from July 1998 till April 1999 in the state-led government. The National Court declared his election void on 29 April 1999, and a by-election was ordered. However, he was reinstated by the National Court to the Condep Open Electorate on 1st November 1999 and served as a Vice Minister for Health in December 1999, Minister for Police on the 19th December 2000, and Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs in Morauta-led government, then again as Minister for Police from 6 November 2001. As a mark of respect to the memory of the late honorable gentleman, I invite all honorable members to rise in their places. I thank the Parliament. Honourable members, I acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery and the public gallery of Auntie Serena Williams, a senior Nungu Nawal and Wiranjuri Elder and the First Nations Ambassador for Tura women whose work continues to strengthen cultural understanding across Australia and the Pacific is present in the Speaker's Gallery. Also the President and students from the School of Law at the University of Papua New Guinea, a Batch 1 students undertaking Diploma in Public Administration at the Somara Institute of Leadership and Governance, and grade 12 students and the teachers from Kila Kila Secondary School. On behalf of Parliament, I extend to you all a warm welcome to the Parliament. Any petitions? Notices? Honourable members, before me allow him question time, me just like making one block clear talk here. You know you meet us all members of Parliament, but throughout all citizens of this country. I stay even got chairman belong CLRC and we present him on the paper, talk long. Look lo you me send him. How when you mark him? Leader of the country, especially Prime Minister. And this talk, I think, plenty on all of Kisimon Semen bill now is a Parliament where you may all debate him, then you may pass him. So talk clear, you will over the line, citizens for this country, this plan. And me no bill, and one black paper to solely come inside. Now thinking, tromoy lo flow where leaders flow imitate is that tromoy thinking. Now make him look sabe long end. And also Prime Minister talk as there. And paper talk thinking he come. You mean by talk long and it can be come up law suppose you may write him next 10 years or when time. But discussion and you may start him now. So line to the newspaper too, you like report him straight. Now it clears all people blow you me. All you must understand him. That that's why I mean a law bill is stop now on notice paper where you may like passing and you may debate him. No God. I'm thinking where he come down the floor now you may discuss him discussion yeah, no finish yet. And we will continue. Thank you, Lord Despla. Me now ask him in our talk long for 5 minutes. Honorable Governor of Longenga Province.
Question below me no got sabe by go Minister below Wicks. Mr. Speaker, long country below me. Now you need talk long. All economic activities. Na long all economic activities, agriculture, mining the gas. All this project, all you need him good plan road. Make sure also you can realizing all expected outcomes, low revenue, below country. Mr. Speaker, Pogara project, let me stop 30 plus years finish. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, all roads belong Henga province. Stop long mark where Pogra mining work long continue long contribute long explanation. So question belong shortla. Road long Togoba, Igolo Pogra. Emi look what's a man bla road in highway. Emi me call him Enga highway. Now me like ask him Minister, you direct him. Secretary blow you, the team blow you, make sure our same. You can upgrade him. This road from Togoba to Wabek, from Wabek to Pogora, I mean, need him upgrade na ceiling. Mr. Speaker, time display mine any finish or gold finish long. Enga province. Look also no one bla project by remind him. Me bla also mine been stop lo this lahap long country blame me. Or roads blow Enga province and very important. So Mila asking Minister. Past time long plenty year go finish. Minosa ask him too much long on him. National government, he work la help Enga long establishing Mausik, blow me, not to university, which the people of Enga are very thankful for. But more importantly, the roads are very important for the country. Therefore, me like him undertaking blow minister, na him give him direction, long all secretary in a department, long immediately looks away on display important road blame me the country. Thank you.
Honourable Minister Blue-Wax.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Nami talk thank you long se Peter Ipetas Governor Bloimi Longenga lo good la question belong surrounding roads go access go long. Pogera before me give him answer blomi me like also commend him one time Newpla Police Minister lo good pla walk li make mantap loenga long start long assist him law and order blow me inside Loenga province. Me commend him tupla na me talk big pla how mas. Some of our biggest challenges long all development blow me inside Loenga province and because of lawlessness. But me take note long ask him blow you Sepita, and I would kindly ask that you put him one pla letter he come so that we can start the official enabling of the road that you've requested, so that Emi come up official na Yumi can ensure him that Pogera Emi sit down good. Inside long last pla meeting blo mi pla one time department mi pla I put him one pla big pla ting surround him all gata all resource areas blo Yumi must got two pla road access. The classic example was when there was a landslide along Mulitaka, go inside the mining site, Yimino bin got access, Naim bin stop him, big pla walk bla Yumi. So in the intent of ensuring that Yumi got tupla road access, suppose he got heavy come up, and by no stop him walk blong operation. So go back long talk na ask him long Sepita, please me look savelo question blow you, me ask him you put him long writing na by you me start him off this la look road blow you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member Blabao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question without notice goes to my friend, the Deputy Prime Minister, who is also the Minister for Lands, Fiscal Planning, Urbanization and Immigration. And because I'm your shed on this side, I stand up to ask you the question. I have 6 questions, short questions, which the Deputy Prime Minister I would want to respond to. The first one is in relation, but before I do that, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I congratulate the Deputy Prime Minister on his leadership on many of the land matters, some of the key projects that he has initiated. And also thank you for supporting some of the land initiatives places like Central Province are initiating, and his presence all the time on our invitations have been well recognized, and thank you very, very much, our Deputy Prime Minister. The first of the short 6 questions relates to the government printing of office process with regards to land matters, GPO. The issue is, for example, Gazettal number G466 on the 6th of May 2025 was uplifted 3 months later, and so the public was denied of access to that Gazettal. That is not good enough with regards to land matters in this country. Once a matter is gazetted, it must not be withheld for uplift, and in this case it took 3 months. Mr. Speaker, is someone managing the GPO, Government Printing Office, particularly with these important issues on land matters? Contrary to that 3 months delay, Gazette number 564 and 583 were rapidly processed. Those are land matters related to the bill, the Nazab Land Development Bill that we passed in one of the sittings of Parliament. And so somehow, in terms of the Government Printing Office, this valuable information is not being processed. So my question is there political influence going on with the Government Printing Office? First question. Second question, Mr. Speaker. I understand that the National Land Board missed the chairman for over 12 months. And so, the question is, in between that period without the chairman of the National Land Board, how were land matters processed in the country where the National Land Board plays a very, very important role? When there is no National Land Board chairman, the provincial land boards also are not held. And with my understanding of 12 months of delay of the appointment of the National Land Board chairman, this period of 12 months, my question is, how did the Department of Lands and the Ministry manage land matters? If members of Parliament drive through the Land Department now, right now, you will see that the car park of the National Department of Land is much fuller than any other department in the town now, because of the issues that I'm raising. Many land issues are not developed on time. Number 3 question. Because of this long delay of the appointment of the National Land Board and therefore impacting on the abilities of the provincial land boards to also hold their land meetings and address land issues, I understand that the Minister has the authority under Section 72 of the Land Act to invoke that provision for direct grants. Can the Minister, through you, inform the country and maybe publish how many direct land grants invoking 72 Section 72 of the Land Act on direct grants, how many decisions have been made by him as Minister for Lands on direct land grants? I'm asking for the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Lands, through you, Chairman, to maybe publish and inform Parliament. Because my concern is, in the absence of the, as I said earlier, the Chairman of the National Land Board, Section 72, I think, was invoked unnecessarily, in my view. The next question, through you, Mr. Chairman, I understand, as Speaker, I understand that there are only 3 to 4 provincial land boards in the country. Is this true? If it's true, through you, Mr. Speaker, when will the Minister establish provincial land boards throughout the country? Because one of the biggest arguments that we always make is, why can't he decentralize some of these powers? And on land matters, provincial land boards are very, very important. Why is it there's only 3 or 4 in the country right now? When will the Minister appoint provincial land boards throughout the country so that this office here in Lands Department office here cannot be full every day? Why can't some of these responsibilities go to the provincial land boards? Last question, Mr. Speaker. On Gazettal number 466 of 5th May 2025, members of the National Land Board were gazetted. According to the Gazette, there are 7 members of the National Land Board. 1 is the chairman, number 2 member for NGI, member representing NCD, member representing women, member representing Highlands, member representing the church, member representing Momase. There is no member representing the Papua region. Is this a deliberate thing? Or is NCD, as always, represents the Papua region? If this is true, Mr. Speaker, can I make a recommendation that rather than include the chairman as one of the 7, let the Papua region be represented in the land board and the chairman be appointed amongst the members of the land board? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Law. Lands?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Sir Puka, for those very pertinent questions directed towards the Lands Department in my capacity as the Lands Minister also. First of all, with the Government Printing Office, Government Printing Office is run by the government printer. For whatever reason that they delayed those things, I can assure you there was no political interference, and I do not run the Government Printing Office as a Lands Minister. But as a Deputy Prime Minister, I will check with the government printer and make certain that they have no wise reason for the delay and why they should do the due diligence faster so they can be able to attend to these matters for all of government. For the National Lands Board Chairman vacancy, a Lands Board has been appointed. Lands Board is in operation, and there is a Lands Board meeting in about 4 weeks' time. Yes, there was a vacancy for the Lands Chairman at the point in time, but as you very well know as a former Lands Minister, that the process of appointments goes through CACC, goes through NEC, and it's quite a bit of a process to get to that point for the appointments of any board, not just the Lands Board. So that has been done, and there is a working Lands Board sitting at the moment. For the Lands Board, as you said with the Lands Board always sits, Mr. Speaker, the Lands Board always sits when there's agenda items to be heard. They do not have full-time jobs sitting at the Lands Office attending to every single lands matter there. That is the job of the Department of Lands and the personnel, the secretary and the people who do the administrative process there. The Lands Board sits between 4 to 6 meetings per year to attend to any lands awards that need to be done or to deliberate on lands matters. So they are not full-time members of the public service. So they do not need to be sitting there every day attending to Lands Board. So it doesn't really slow down the process. For direct grants by the Minister for Lands, I can assure you I haven't given any direct grants in the last 2 years. Simple answer. When I went to the elections and came back and appointed again as the Lands Minister, I delegated my powers by law to the Land Secretary, who is the custodian, as a delegate of the Minister. So myself as a Lands Minister has not deliberated or granted any land grants to anyone. So that has not been utilized. But the Land Secretary, if they have granted it, I will get back to you on that one. And for grants, I'd like to also explain to Parliament that for direct grants, you cannot direct grants to individuals or companies. That is, by law, impossible. You can only grant for matters of public use, for parks, for roads, for airstrips, for public use. And as you quite well know, and it's a good question because so the public can be able to know about it, the Minister cannot grant it directly for use for private purpose. That has to go through a Lands Board, and the Lands Board has to sit down and peruse and then award based on the criteria that was tendered for. I hope that clarifies that question. For the Provincial Lands Board, as a question, Mr. Speaker, Provincial Lands Boards are decentralized, delegated powers from the National Lands Board to the Provincial Lands Board. And that is a prerogative of each province to submit through their PEC to the minister responsible, in my case, myself as a lands minister. So if the provinces submit it, then we can be able to deliberate and make certain those boards are awarded, to make certain those boards are set up in place. I cannot go and appoint each individual boards for each provinces. That is the sole prerogative, Mr. Speaker, of each individual provinces. So I implore the governors responsible to make certain they have a full-time running lands board. We have, for Central Province itself, Mr. Speaker, Central Province, the good governor, has approached us, has set up a lands board, and I think 2 months ago we sat down and I granted a full lands board and a physical planning board to deliberate on matters for Central Province. And I applaud the governor for Central Province, Rufina Peter, to make certain that is run. And for lands boards, when we say provincial lands board that people talk about, the provinces need to be able to ensure that for those technical officers for the lands boards, they must have competent technical officers in the provinces. Those are delegated powers given to the provinces for the provinces to run these technical institutions. So you have to make certain, Mr. Speaker, that they have competent, good technical support so that the Provincial Lands Board can operate effectively. And as I all the time say, Mr. Speaker, make certain those boards are competent people, because we have a lot of issues when we have nominations come in and the boards are not made of competent people, and that is why we have so many problems in our towns and cities and provinces, because we have incompetent people that are submitted. And I have made it known in no uncertain terms on this floor, Mr. Speaker, that I will only approve it if I see competent people on those boards. It is a duty of care I have to the province, whichever province it is, and to the country as a nation. We should always have competent physical planning and lands board, so that road reserves are not taken out, so that subdivisions are not taken out, so that people do not abuse those delegated powers in the provinces. So, Mr. Speaker, I wait for each province to submit their nominated lands boards through their PEC so I can deliberate and make certain that we have competent lands boards to deliberate on those matters, very important matters. For the National Lands Board, the appointments of 7 members, Mr. Speaker, there was a representative, as you quite say, a councillor, a renowned councillor from that has been sitting on that same land board for continuously for, I think, 2 terms now, and I think he's a councillor for the Hiri area, and he has been sitting there. His name was submitted about through the process, and that councillor is still a member representing both Central Province and NCDC on the board of the National Lands Board. He is of Central Province origin and hails from one of the Motu Koitabu villages. Mr. Speaker, I will also take into consideration that, as I said earlier, the Papuan people, I am very supportive in their plans to ensure that the land is managed properly and that they do not get ostracized in their own area. So I have on numerous occasions spoken to Sepuka and Governor Rufina to make certain that I give them every assistance possible to ensure that their land is managed properly. And I stand here always to be available for any inquiries that they may have. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and I hope that answers the 5 questions that my good friend has sent from the other side to my office. If there's any more questions, Mr. Speaker, my office is open to discuss these avenues with the good Honourable Sepuka.
Honourable Governor Blamadang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, asking Blumi in our talks away. Me Salimigolong, Prime Minister, regarding Medeng Airport redevelopment. May I ask Minister of Civil Aviation to take note, because Minister in long committee national government, only the Prime Minister will commit the national government. Mr. Mausman, Speaker, asking Blumi, Emi bianim one bla, walk about the Prime Minister, as the Tasol mi bla lukime mi golong, Isibik province, na walking groundbreaking, long Boram Airport, long Buwek, Mr. Speaker, mi amamas frulo desla Airport, I'm long overdue. Na good la through, I'm groundbreaking, I'm come up na walk masigoyet. Thank you, Lord, leadership, Lord Prime Minister. Na maraberoso government. Memo true. People will civic deserve Tesla the last 50 years. People will marang. Maybe I ask him now. Airport blow marang. M1 bla airport where lo last kilia kedep 1, kedep 2, kedep 3, kedep 4, you must have kedep 5 minutes away. Bible talk out kilia. Mi bla igo digim ground na lusim. Posi sanap na marang to kusato liklik bikini ko na walking mouse na ino pinisim ko tino putim kunay na putim morota. Walk mi bla statim na lusim. Mr. Speaker, now me got Nubla Airport Fallen Road now, me walking me go. Me talk thank you to national government, me play sanap na walk bong one walking me go. But there's a road by bringing me pla lo ron lo big pla high standard bla road. You go on lo one bla rundown terminal. Na kalab long there's 8 na ikam lo must be o go lowe. One can two me RM two me look him. Government ni buy more big pla or balus or call him people's balus. Me thinking plenty now. There's lab lo one more people here because there's lab people's balus no na pitching down lo airport blo marang now. Na people blame lo marang ba looking so and people blow set ba looking. So, Mr. Speaker, asking me I'm also. There's la push start stop all get operation lo marang ya airport ya. You may lose him na istab ya. One time ba mi pla walking. I mean, it not make sense, and it doesn't add when we run on a 4-lane road into a rundown terminal and get onto MAF4, I dare say to get anywhere. I mean, it makes sense. So, me mama strul sem, bora mem kisim now. You look long, mama se. Tomajati, wanem desla nemblo Japania. Mi pla putim lo, nemblo Japani mi putim lo najapia. Wanimo em kama finish. Madam wantem boram nogat mi tok thank you also now boram kisim. Madangnya all starting wantem wanimo airport na New Island airport. Lo kebiang sorry. Kebiang em bilas place na tamol finisim des airport em kebiang go bilas olgeta. Wanimo em paradise ya na tamol finisim des la mieti go lukim longem em go wanimo kama paradise olgeta. Meeting me go leben na mi come down. Na madang all talk beautiful ya na mi lukim em nogat one place kalab beautiful come up.
Minister, one point of what you?
Good plug Governor lo medeng sotim na ask him question. Seems me come up Minister 1 year you know been approaching me too so or some na you Paul lik so. You go straight to point.
Honorable Governor, go ahead and ask him question below you na. Planning number 2 like ask him question so you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister ina blosunon nizin naram mi finish now. Me looking you of law, looking you come lobis me talking me also one time by straight him so you know and gaman surgim talking all side check. Now me talking me straight of law, aram. You know na me story lo street na lobis. Alright. Mr. Speaker, ask him blumi am also. This is likely airport or looking labia model blong am also tari airport ya. Likely. Madang em no district also tari. Em big la town. You know one kind of somebody more na kebiang tu. Aram, you like looking more, you have to come go looking more possible as an apimia. So ask him now. Ask him also. In a Prime Minister Committee of National Government, lo you will restart him kendes layapotia, construction blongem. Na complete him when the minister. You block him now. You will start him na lose him now. Madang walk him funny lo you block one more click pini kam sana more post na no finish him house ya. Sabi lo him house na kamugi mo. So ask him lo me also. Ina you will committee national government fix him this layapo too. And need lo one him kedep now you Mr. Blongem. Me to me no sawa so talk straight na people lo madang aram. Thank you Mr. Mausman na speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I me like talk Bikla. Thank you too much, long Governor Blong Madang. Let me get right to ask him a question. Me Mausman, leader man Blong Kukurai Blong Madang. So me have much long I'm asking this question. Passing through, Mr. Speaker. Me like talk. Thank you. Put on record my appreciation to the Somali government in 2008. They initiated the CADIP 1 program. CADIP 1 that time in 2008, I was Vice Minister for Works, Transport and Civil Aviation, assisting the then Minister, the Honorable Don Pollier. CADIP 1 was initiated. And, CADIP 1 has been successful. And I want to say, apart from the Medang blemish, CADIP 1 has been the most successful airport infrastructure program ever in our country. And we want to place on record our appreciation to Grand Chief, who has since passed, but the then government. And only the government came on, it never sabotaged the project, allowed the project to run its course. We have seen successful delivery of Vainamo Airport terminal and runaway reaffirmaments. We've seen Momote Airport in Manus. We've seen Keviang Airport in New Island Province. We've seen Goroka Terminal. We've seen Mount Hagen Airport and Terminal. We're now redoing the pavements in Mount Hagen due to contractor default or contractor not really up to standard in the Mount Hagen runaways. But the terminal is in place today. Mr. Speaker, Medang, is part of this batch. In fact, I beg your pardon, Medang also, and then we have Tari, Mendi, and Wapnumanda. 2 airports that has been slow to be completed. Wapnumanda is one of them due to law-related issues, and we just need about 4 million to complete this one, subject to restoration of order in Wapnumanda. The Medang one, there's a default in contractor ability to complete, and so contractor has abandoned the place. And my last visit, I was at the pleasure of being at Sumkar with the Honorable Alex Omea, who invited me, and when I passed through, I at that moment passed a text to Civil Aviation to complete Medang at the earliest if the contractor is abandoned, and if ADB cannot pick the work up, the national government must make intervention to complete Medang terminal. I want to give assurance to the good governor that we're looking into how we could do up Medang terminal to complement the 4-way lane we're right now doing from the airport area, passing through the swamps and straight into Smugglers. That road is being done today as we speak, and so to complement that road, the terminal must be completed in and around the same time that section of the Medang road is complete. So, Mila giving belly silo governor, amiga right law raising issues blongol talk of Logan. We were part of the reason why it was a little bit delayed in being attended to. We were looking whether we could pick it up in Kedip 2. Kedip 2 unfortunately is gone. This Pangu-led administration secured Kedip 2. And Kedip 2, as we speak, we were running around the balance of our national airports that remains outstanding. Today, if you're from autonomous region of Bougainville, you would see work in Aropa has started. A new terminal is going there. We're looking at making sure Aropa is also finished to save the entire Bougainville. We also, national government has instructed for us to look at terminal also in Buka. We have now work running in Alatau, an airport we want to designate to be a possible international airport into the future, targeting tourism. So Alatau is running, the construction is happening as we speak. We also have there's another airport. We've just recently announced the delivery of a brand new terminal construction in Wewak, to making sure that Wewak has emerged our 4th busiest airport in our country. Wewak needs that urgent terminal, so Trango Lapun Mani give him country and putting Wewak last. It's only we picked up Wewak, and I want to thank the ECPIC leadership. Governor Baird was there when we launched this. The ECPIC provincial government did contribute in some of the drainage, substantial drainage clearance to prepare for airport, the reseating of the airport runaway as well as the new terminals. So we thank the ECPIC provincial leadership. I want to also register my appreciation to the Honourable Stanley Samban as well as the Honourable Richard Maru and others who continue to press home in making sure ECPIC terminal is. So ECPIC is part of, Wewak is part of Kedip 2. We have other Kedip 2 programs running. We wanted to bring Medang back into Kedip 2, but it was part of the Kedip 1 program, so we could not. Governor instructed our central government as well as National Airport Corporation to establish the scope of work that we need to do, and I want to follow on from you. Medang is much bigger than Tari and other places. We want to give a terminal befitting of Medang. We've got tourism, we have fisheries, the PMI jet, we've got mining there in Medang, so something that will come up truly to the satisfaction of Medang people and what Medang deserves. And I want to apologize to Medang people for what seems like a delay. It started when the contractor abandoned the job. And so we asked ADB and National Airport Corporation to find out what is the responsibility of the contractor before the national government gets fully inside to attend to. I want to also say, since I have this floor, we have only few airports outstanding. The certainty of what happens in Kundiawa and Gulf or Kerema and Daru. that is outstanding. There's some work happening in Kiunga right now as we speak as part of the airport extension program. So just in my mind, 3 major provincial airports remains outstanding. That's Kundiawa, Kerema, and Daru. And by then, if we've done these 3 up, all provinces would have the enabling infrastructure in as far as airport is concerned. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mulbaya.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Luk Sawalong, member from Mulbaya. We'll ask him question. We ask him to talk. So, online Blumilo place, but away. In online Blumilo place, but me like to talk about the 3rd level of government in this country. Before let me ask you a question, I like to thank you people for day, elect him Honorable Desmond Paul Keeper, into this parliament. Long join him, Miblo Lalens again, 3 open members, Governor, Mibla staff, now Mibla full member Mibla staff from me to thank you. Honorable Governor Blong, New Island 2, Honorable Byron Chain, thank you too long, you come in charge. Nan join him, Plo. Me like to thank you long, extend him, thank you for mingle of people blow day, conduct him, peaceful election. No bloodshed, very, very peaceful election. So me talk thank you land from me, long day in Chela Western Islands province. My question to, without notice to the Minister for National and Local Level Government Council Affairs, Government Affairs, my question is in regard to all council blow me long, Mibla long, Papua New Guinea, plan your asking Mibla question. All this council, Mibla conducting election, please. Mibla panel council in Chela 1-1 vote, please. Now all staff council na maintaining vote blow now. Mibla all let like Save. All staff in Chela payroll, please, and Ogat. Unless payroll, all put him all go in charge, please, and Ogat. All come in Chelong. Council, all spending all kind and resources in Mibla Wogam Longan. So all staff in Chela payroll, please, and Ogat. All like Save. Number 2, the government, this government has promised them that inside long wood blow yet, LLC grants blow apart from LLC grant, all but Kisim Sambla Lili Toya looks have in Chalong, wood cancel 1-1 all but Kisim. LLC grant blow all, budget ready or no cut? Now in Chalong wood blow all. Mibla talk it pretty and by cancel 1-1 but Kisim Sambla Lili, one should look at the community in Chalanga. Budget blow ready finish no cut. Suppose already, when in time all but start next year. When are they going to receive their allowances? Pay na legal allowance we will promise them long. All wait stop. All come let's grab him all member, governor. Me member ya, open member will grab me ya. Governor will come ask him ya. So we go to look after these people. This is a question from me in regard to our 3rd level government of this country. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you, let me thank Member for Mulbaya for his very important question. But before I answer that question, let me, at this juncture, thank Papua New Guinea for a successful LLG election. I'm really thankful, although there are some problems, but overall, it has been a very successful election. There are issues that have been raised to my office and we are addressing as we go along, especially in relation to the composition of LLG boards, or DDA boards. These are issues we are already tackling. But otherwise, thank you, member, for this very important question, because
This is a question that has been asked earlier, but government has taken initiative in terms of making amendments to legislations. I want to thank the Parliament for supporting me in terms of passing very important amendments to organic law on provincial and local level government, as well as other minor legislations that has enabled government policies to reach our people throughout Papua New Guinea. And one of which was the issue about salaries. Government has for a very long time recognized the contributions of our ward members for a very long time. Most of us have grown up in the villages, and we've seen how ward members, in those days councillors, have contributed to the community affairs, particularly law and order, and ensuring that we have a peaceful community, including cleanliness of our communities. And it has come thus far. And for a very long time, our governments over the years have ignored the contributions of ward members, insofar as recognizing them and compensating them until this government. And last year, those amendments has enabled for the first time that ward members are put on salaries. For the last term of LLG, ward members who have served in the past have already been put on salaries. And I would presume that after the elections, recent election, the new ward members should be put on salaries as well. And it should be automatic. Although there is increase in terms of ward members, because that's part and parcel of the decision that government has made in increasing wards, because wards are the basis in which we deliver services to our people. Some wards are quite big, and hence resources that are put in there are kind of limited. And therefore, we have seen the increase in wards throughout Papua New Guinea. And in doing so, we have ward members representing those wards. So in answer to your question, they should be put on salaries. If they have not been, please let me know through my secretary so that we can ensure that they're put on salaries. Your second question is to do with, again, part of the government's initiatives in terms of reforms of the provincial government system in the country, which is important issue or undertaken by this government to reform provincial and local government system in the country. And this is one of the areas that we have looked at in terms of empowering our wards and LLGs in terms of allocation of bit of funds. I believe investing into our wards and LLGs is the way to go, because that's where majority of our people are. We need to allow funds to be given to wards so that they can address issues on the ground where they are, including LLGs.
Mr.
Speaker, I think the good minister is far from finishing off a decent answer that he's providing to the questions raised. Perhaps I could seek the chair's indulgence to invite the minister to seek an extension of the question time to allow him to give the, and also there are questions that will be asked this morning. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Opposition Leader, you will ask him longer. Extended time, me out of order, by that Naruman, but Milare Minister, you answer him straight question, remember longer. Remember the bull buyer, me ask him because planning member. Only like ask him question, you me pulling planning talk. Go straight now, answer him. Now line believe me, you can move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sometimes you provide a backdrop to why you're answering the question, but thank you. I appreciate intervention by member for Hiri Koyari, but that also gives me an opportunity to also raise another issue, Mr. Speaker, to you. If I may ask to your chair, I ask that members of the Parliament on the floor of Parliament, please use mic. Sometimes you put the mic on the side and you speak. So why are we having mics for? Speak so that your questions can be appreciated more. Coming back to the issue, funds are already allocated. Sorry, the decision has already been made in terms of allocation of 50,000 per wards. Okay? And secondly, by the same amendments, 250,000 for per LLG presidents. So that is already a part and parcel of the law that we have passed. But I apologize, these funds for this year, those provisions have not been allocated. So hopefully as a government we'll do better next year, that we can allocate these funds so that our ward members as well as presidents can undertake important issues, minor issues that they can deal with at the wards level as well as at the LLG level, so that they don't keep on running to DDAs or provincial governments or even national governments to undertake small issues. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe I have answered the question. Thank you.
Honorable members, me like Tok Savelo, also desla time long. Ask him. Inokat Tok Savelongan, popula 10-5 minutes, me haber si Mark finish. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I ask leave of Parliament to move a motion without notice.
Is leave granted? Leave granted, Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that so much of the standing orders be suspended as would prevent the Minister for Community Development, Religion and Youth presenting his ministerial statement on the occasion of dedicated Parliamentary Session Day for Women Development in Papua New Guinea.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Minister of Community Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And honorable members of Parliament, as a minister responsible for community development, religion and youth, I'm deeply humbled to stand before the Honorable House during this month of March, when we celebrate and uplift the women and girls of Papua New Guinea. This is not only a time of celebration, but also a moment for reflection to honor the extraordinary contribution of our women and girls, to acknowledge the progress we have made towards the gender equality, and to recommit ourselves to the important work that still lies ahead. Mr. Speaker, I take great pride in recalling the leadership of our Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, who just 1 year ago led a Parliament in dedicating 2 entire days discussing the pressing issue faced by women and girls across our nation. It was a historic milestone, a powerful demonstration of our collective commitment and vision for an equal Papua New Guinea. Today, as we gather once again, let us renew this commitment and move from words to even deeper and more meaningful action. Mr. Speaker, over the past year, my ministry has undertaken a bold agenda to promote gender equality and address gender-based violence across the country. Allow me to highlight several key achievements. Strengthening policy foundation. We have completed the National Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Policy 2025 to 2035, and the National Based Violence Strategy 2026 to 2035. We serve as a critical roadmap endorsed under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister. Securing GBV program funding, the national budget now allocates 9.7 million to gender-based violence program. While the need remains for greater than the available resources, the investment lays a critical foundation for stronger national action. Enhancing coordination, provincial gender and GBV focal points have been established in all 22 provinces, embedding gender policy priorities into provincial strategy plans for 2026 and beyond. Expanding the survivor protection, a national safe house survey has identified 51 facilities across 17 provinces. Standard operating procedures are now being finalized to ensure high quality, regulated and service for our survivors. Revitalizing women's representation, the National Council of Women has been reactivated and strengthened advocacy, leadership and representation for women across the country. Engaging men as champions, a male advocacy strategy has been developed to mobilize men and boys as partners and allies in ending violence and promoting gender equality. Building local capacity, training programs have equipped frontline workers, community leaders, and civil society actions with the skills and sensitivity required to effectively respond to GBV cases. Strengthening national support system. The National GBV Secretariat continues to coordinate multi-electoral response with this year pilot Papua New Guinea first ever emergency program for GBV and SAF responses, placing PNG among only a small number of Pacific nations implementing such a mechanism. Investing at the grassroots. Since 2022, over 6.2 million kina have been channeled to civil society organizations supporting community-level based GBV prevention and response initiatives. Investing in the capacity of the public servants through a tripartite partnership with SP Brewery and the Somare Institute of Leadership and Governance. 4 specialized training modules have been developed for public service leaders to strengthen gender responsive leadership. Mr. Speaker, Papua New Guinea commitment to advancing the rights and the empowerment of women and girls is not only a national priority, but also a commitment we have made to the region and the international community. Papua New Guinea remains firmly committed to implementing our obligation under the key international framework, including the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, the Beijing Platform for Action, and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, particularly Sustainable Development Goal 5 on gender equality. At the regional level, Papua New Guinea also stands alongside our Pacific neighbors in advancing the Pacific Leaders Gender Equality Declaration and the Pacific Platform for Action on Gender-Based Equality and Women's Rights. These commitments guide our national policies and reinforce our determination to ensure that women and girls in Papua New Guinea can live free from violence, participate fully in leadership, and benefit equally from our country's development. Mr. Speaker, I would like to sincerely acknowledge and thank all our valued development partners as well, the government of the Republic of Korea, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, and the European Union, as well as UNFPA, UN Women, and UNDP for their steadfast support and partnership in advancing women development in Papua New Guinea. Mr. Speaker, I had the privilege of joining the National Listening Tours during the development of the new GBV strategy. During this consultation, I heard powerful stories of pain, courage, and resilience. Those voices remain with me today. As someone who witnessed violence in my own childhood, who saw the strength of my own mother as she raises us alone, I speak today not as a minister, but as a son and father, and also the fellow citizens who believe deeply in the dignity and safety of every woman and girls in our nation. To my brothers in this honorable house, we must lead by example, as we have not yet acted safely in our families, our communities, and our district. Let us be in our moment. Let us be generation of leaders, men and women, who refuse to tolerate violence, who stands together for respect, dignity, decency. While we celebrate progress, we must not forget the countless women and girls we have lost due to our silence and complacency. Nor these who stand live in fear today. Let this month of March, indeed every day, remind us of our responsibility. Gender equality is not simply a women agenda. It is a national imperative that determines the future prosperity and stability of our country. Mr. Speaker, in closing, I call upon every member of this honorable House to take action within your electorate, work hand in hand with the communities, strengthening partnership and champion equality. Together, we can build a Papua New Guinea where every woman and girl lives free from violence, where they live with dignity, opportunity, and hope. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, thank you, Lord Luksawelong. Milo Sanap na make him Sabla Tok in support of Minister long Tok long gender-based violence. Me move that Parliament you may take note long statement long Minister na me like join him in this debate long Sanap him na straight support him Tok long Minister. Mr. Speaker, pass them through before me go on. Me like talk thank you long work long Governor Pakov. Beside them chairman long Permanent Parliamentary Committee long Gender Equality na Women's Empowerment. Governor Pakov, you are a champion in this space, and I just want to acknowledge your leadership. He continues to remind us on what we must do, and since he assumed this chairmanship, he's never rested. He keeps on pushing the boundaries, making sure that the government is responsive to what must be done. And so I want to thank Governor Pakop and members of this important committee. As we all work in our 50th year, certain challenges that is amidst us does not require money to fix, or in fact more law to attend or address, but really getting our basic fundamentals right as decent human beings. So, Mr. Speaker, right from the outset, me like Sanabim Tok. You me all papa belong this black country. You me all picking man belong this black country. You me must take him leadership belong this black conversation. And we don't need to be reminded too far off. Statistics shows us in the report. And I want to thank United Nations and all development partners who have worked with not just the committee, but the Community Development Department and the government in trying to point to us what must be done and remind us. Statistics in this report, DPM, if I could have this.
Statistics in this report says, Mr. Speaker, last year, the 50th year independent Blumi, 64% of all mama logada household experiencing one form or another long issue of domestic violence. 64% of the sample population surveyed have experienced one form or another of domestic violence. Now, this is really at the heart and core of the issue. It is a national conversation that must be spoken at the highest. This government picks its work up, and we want to take the bull by the horn and fix it, attend to this matter, speak about it, and raise consciousness on this. This country will not progress if the fundamental fabric of our society is weakened. And it starts with us in this house. If 64% of wives in this house, as a sample taken, or if 64% of wives in our midst have faced stress last year, in one way or another, it is a serious national task. The reason is simple, Mr. Speaker. The hooray about our 50th anniversary is totally in vain if the fundamental basis of our country is second to the core, and that's family. That's family. If 64% household in our country, the mothers are in tears as they save their breakfast every morning, and as they complete their last chore to go to bed every night, are in tears. What manner of country are we passing on to the next generation? Needs to be spoken. The statistics needs to be amplified so that we raise the consciousness that domestic violence is a no amidst us. You cannot just be as a leader if you are abusing your wife at home. Simple, period. The wife is an equal partner at home. Now I can understand if you're not Christian, but I want to bring home, if you claim to be a Christian, every Sunday or Saturday you go to church. Your Bible reminds you, right from the start, Genesis chapter 2, when Adam was created and God had given him task in Genesis chapter 2 verse 15, Adam, you named the animal, look after the garden. He felt the pains of loneliness because the animal had come and gone in 2 by 2. Or he was naming them in pairs, yet he was alone. In Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 or 17 thereabouts, I'm no pastor. But God said, Adam, will find you a helpmate. That's why in Genesis chapter 2 verse 22, Adam pronounced, bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman. Mr. Speaker, Maria, passing back for you. Maria, because you buy the bride price finish that you have every total right. She has a constitutional right. And I'll read to all of us her rights, the mother's right. Mr. Speaker, I got my office to print out this to emphasize to all men of our country. Section 35, I'm got freedom of right. I speak, my daughters are listening up there. Our daughters are listening. She's got freedom of right to life, Section 35. Section 36, got freedom of inhuman treatment. She must be protected from inhuman treatments. Section 37, got protection of law. Section 44, got protection of unnecessary sets. Police so let me refer to police, Governor Parkov, you lawyers obey them, police so. But me like to get husband too. As policeman in the house, the right law sets him marry nothing. Me, you plus our Tari no thinking. If 1997 I could let my first woman go because she committed adultery with no violence on her. Rest of me got thinking here. Why you fighting marriage stuff? Someone said, make him no good live in peace. Live in peace. You have no right to set her. You have no right to contain a freedom of conscience as given in Section 44. You have no right to contain a freedom of expression that's given in Section 46. The fathers of our Constitution granted this country a very good Constitution, yet the sons of this country have wandered off. No wonder why our national anthem says, all rise, only sons. Hello, Mr. Speaker. Have you ever wondered why the national anthem is silent on daughters and talks about sons? 50 years on, the statistics is 64% of a household
experience one way or another a form of violence. No wonder why they got it right when they approved the national anthem. They said, all rights, only sons. Because sons of this country, you are mistreating daughters of this country 50 years on. I am mistreating daughters of this country. So yes, talk big we must on every other thing in life, but fundamentally at the family level, fix family first. Fix family first. We don't need police to come and police how you conduct yourself in your matrimonial bed. But if you get it right, then you have locus standa to talk about everything else. You know what locus standa is? The lawyers will tell you. It is called standing. Standing to talk about everything else. And from your bedroom and from the tables of your family, if fathers of this country gets it correct, then this country will go a long way. And to our development partners, I want to conclude, and I'll keep it short. To our development partners, I want you to tone down your lecture on us too. We're not bad. We're not bad. Just along the way, maybe unemployment issues, economic wars, etc., and a mixture of 1,000 tribes into one confluence of nationhood since 1975 have caused this, and we're readjusting. I propose few things. Police must have a separate track, and that instruction has gone out to Mr. Commissioner 3 years ago, Mr. Commissioner, that every police station must have a separate track for domestic violence. And not to compensation. You know, can track, register him complaint about domestic violence finish. Now because compensation come, police man you ross him to him, maybe go straight him to custom passing. No, something custom passing wrong, you must lose him. So every police station across our country must have a separate track that deals with domestic violence. So heavy blow mama, you go through its own track. Number two, Mila Gimme, this law parliament in our 50th year, June before September you may come, increase in penalty. You party marry, penalty must go big. Why not? Can you all join me in this one? Can you all agree that it must happen? Yes, it must happen. This is reset. The real reset is character reset. Not Pangu government reset, not the new government reset, not the ICT system reset, AI reset, no God. Reset individually, start lo heart, start lo family, and reset route. So increase in penalty. We said you big idea one time, so increase in penalty, blogan. Increase in penalty. Say no to compensation of domestic violence. Beginning Maryland Masao, I'm go married. Man, fighting men, big penalty stop now, no got compensation. Even bride price too. Many times we abuse bride price. The original intent of bride price was for the man's family to appreciate the woman's family for rearing their daughter. Today we take the woman as our property. That must not be so. Go back to the original PNG ways. But we must define what is bride price. I want to say something, maybe hard, may go against our fifth constitutional preamble that says PNG ways. But sometimes we take our PNG way out of proportion. Maybe it's about time we look at polygamy in its fullest sense. What relevance is it serving our country today? A person that has more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 wives is not able to manage his family base well. And the person goes to a society that today many kids unmanaged, running around, doing almost nothing but havoc to our society. So let's consider polygamy. Is it relevant today? Let's discuss this as part of our 50th research conversation. And I want to give my assurance to all development partners. When you talk with some sort of restraint. I want to say PNG, it is not bad to, in any case, but we need to ramp up the tempo to make it even safer for our women. Papua New Guinea, our first woman of parliament came into parliament in 1978, only 2 years. 77, I beg your pardon. You know, it took over 130 years for the first U.S. congresswoman, United States of America, independent law, 1776, this year we're celebrating 250 years long all. First Mary leader blow Governor Park of Nogan, think country really no good. First Mary leader blow 1916. 1916. Australia became independent in 1905. Australia, my friends in Australia, thank you for supporting us in women's rights. But I also remind you that we are not also even bad. We'll balance this. Your first woman came into Parliament about 40 years later, after you getting independent. We came into Parliament in 2 years right after election. Dame Josephine Abaja, Dame Nahu Rooney. Now, I'm making this point to impress on all men of this country that it is not that bad, but we can push the tempo up to make it even better for our daughters and sisters. The reason why we came into Parliament in 1978 is simply this. Culturally, we have authentic respect for women amidst us. Society am come up as that's all, Mr. Speaker. The last 20 years, 30 years, I'm talking about society go big pla. Hanggang mami meri na kan, master that's all. Emi no custom block country blimi. All picking in man, emi no custom block country blimi. 30% of our country, Bougainville, Millen Bay, where Dame Josephine comes from, East New Britain, New Ireland, they respect their mothers. Mothers have inherited right and clan and tribal leadership. Rest of us who are paternalistic in our society, we do have respect for women. You mean Marathi married because you make a big respect, like Kisim is married, like helpmate, me. So culturally, we were already correct. Our authentic PNG way give respect to women. But along the way, the last 50 years, we lost it. Let us strengthen the fundamental. Changing law, we will do. Fixing police, we will do. And all this we must do, but I want to close and appeal to all of us. Book Tambu talk, respecting Mary, past time. Mary, I'm helpmate. Ogara picking man, me like put him. Sunday, Saturday, go lotu, but I remind you again on one passage again in Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. Time Mama Eve picking fruit, Mr. Speaker. Na kake fruit finish, na give hapla Adam. God in go pan him, Eve used up where? God in I pass. God is not blind and deaf and not omnipresent. His omnipresence, his omniscience. In his ability, God knew exactly. Eve was the one that picked the fruit. But you know who he asked first? Adam, where are you? Mr. Speaker, I put to all Adams of this country. At the 50th anniversary of our independence, we have got it wrong. 64% households are being affected. Let's fix this statistic to all Adams of this country through Bible, to all sons of this country through our national anthem. As our country works to get better and secure better future, may our daughters be assured knowing that their sons, their brothers, the men of this country, the sons of this country have changed. I put to us, big things can come, but fundamentally at the foundation, let's give respect to our mothers. That is the basis of a secure country going forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Lokiriwina.
Mr. Speaker, me too, me like participate in this debate. I think it is very important that this House speaks in support of the paper that was presented by the Minister. Me too, me like participate, support him, talk Prime Minister, those who also will participate in debate. First of all, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to appreciate and say thank you. Lo ogatamama usat karim yumi nanao yumi siram lo this house. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank the sisters that we have at home who have assisted our mothers in our upbringings. On behalf of my people of Kiruna Goodenough, we pay our respects to all women, both past and present, who are champions of the homes where we have enjoyed one way or the other the upbringings through struggle, to hard times, and through good times.
At this juncture, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Lord Ogara, Mama, Lord Isla Nation, both past and present. Mr. Speaker, Sampla bloy mi sira inside Lord Isla House, upbringing bloy mi am good pla. Mama na papa o sirang good. Na you look him, abuse inside the family. Sampla bloy mi inside the country, sampla bloy mi inside Lord Isla House. Nagat, one kind story. We can all say different stories here today. For me, my story, Mr. Speaker, is a very good story, I would say. I grew up with parents who never fought at home. When they had differences, they sort out their differences elsewhere. And most often, they would lock themselves and deal with it, talk about it. So with my brothers and sisters, my siblings, we never once saw our parents abuse each other. And I'm thankful for that. But today, Mr. Speaker, I would like to put it this way. We must not deal with the symptoms. We must get to the bottom, the root issues that are the cause of gender-based violence in this nation. And the Prime Minister rightfully mentioned that the fabric of this nation, the homes, Papa and Mama, need strengthening. Whether we strengthen it by law, whether you may strengthen him through organizations like the churches, law and order police, or one of something systems you may got, you must strong him this family fabric nation, and that is the family. We must start at home. You may can come law parliament, now you may talk gender-based violence and try to address the issue of gender-based violence in a bigger picture. But if we don't deal with it in the secret places, in the offices, inside the home, where the women are abused, but they keep quiet about it because they're suppressed, then we will continue to have the issue of gender-based violence, because in the secret places is where it happens. Mr. Speaker, parents must set examples at home. Plenty time you may blame him, old man come now, fight him, marry, abuse him, all girls. But it starts at home. If parents are not disciplined, they bash their wives at home, they bash their daughters at home, their sisters at home, it will come out in public, now one by looking. So we need to deal with the homes as well. Mr. Speaker, discipline of our children. Plenty time we go to some homes, beginning walk to big at the house, now papa and mama sit down, stop now, talk, hey, you sit down. So no stretch him hand, go out, Lord, discipline him, picking. One of the reasons why we have so much problem in our country, and when we deal with gender-based violence, is because the kid grew up in an undisciplined environment. And we need to tighten that up. Mr. Speaker, some play here go finish. Big boy blow me, time na fight him sister blow him house when they were still at high school. Me sit out to him, come sit down and me talk to him. Me talk, you fight him sister blow you tete, tomorrow but you fight him Mary blow you. Suppose you respect him sister blow you inside the house blow me, you know not fight him Mary blow you tomorrow. And that is one of the pictures that I want to put today. That suppose you meet parents begin to discipline our children at home and put them correct at home, then whatever that we put in them, whatever we plant in them, put them inside the kuru blow, they will take it and practice it outside of the home. And that is where I stand to support the Prime Minister, that the fabric of the nation, the home, needs to be strengthened. It needs, let's go back. Now you may look him, culturally, how parents blame me or raise him you me. Mr. Speaker, plenty time or man looking picks up law one plan movie. Or look law this movie finish, or look him awesome, Tazensa, Kalap law, DY awesome. Rambo, I'm holding gun, I'm walking awesome. Now they go out and they try to replicate what they see. Inside the home, blame me, plenty old man or walking the second picture too. Or fighting Mary Blow. Or fighting or picking in Mary. Or abuse him all. It's not discipline, but all abuse him all. Now picking in man, sit down, stop them, talk, oh, one of something, Papa blame me, walk him here. I'm right plus something here. So I must go out and do the same thing. Also, the change of behavior, change of attitude must begin somewhere. Now, in this paper that we present today, Mr. Speaker, me like talk, lo 5 plus something. Number 1, me like talk, lo structural, gender, inequality. This is a system here that men are given power and privilege while limiting women's autonomy in education, work, and politics, has created a backdrop for violence. Now, this inequality needs to be addressed, Mr. Speaker. It cannot be accepted as norm in this country. Mr. Speaker, number 2, cultural and social norms. You may look him awesome. This is harmful traditions blame me, where wife beating is seen to be normal. Forced marriages, where married less or married less man. Now society force him all of them, you must marry less man. You must look like this or something. Now you must sentence him. Mr. Speaker, now something where money looking at me at us, me got muscle, me got power, now me can control him marry. We need to educate men. That power blow you, this like strong blow you gonna up him, bust up you and a muscle blow you grow. Does not give you the right to abuse a woman. Your true power and strength come when you teach yourself self-control. When issues arises, you can rise up far and above that and say, I'm not going to hit my woman, I'm not going to hit my wife, I'm not going to hit this female because I'm better than the power that I have, the physical strength that I have. Economic factors, Mr. Speaker, and number 3, you must create more opportunities for our women. Plenty of marry or depend on man. Now look him as a man provide him something blow me. Now time man abuse him all. Or less will run away. Or less will go report. Because they depend on that man for everything. We must create more opportunities for women. So women too are empowered. So they rise up to be equal in the development of our nation with men. Number 4, weak legal protection and enforcement. You must turn him loss blaming. Plenty time or marry like run go report law courts or like report law law enforcement agencies. Now you get some loopholes inside the law and creating issue legislation. You must strengthen him. Loss blaming those weak loopholes so that or man will abuse him or marry blow or no can kiss him. Opportunity law escape. Very recently, me looking law one plan newspaper. Mary go reporting man blame. Natamo go court. Man, I talk me buying bride price Lodisla Mary, I have the right to belte. What right do you have? Just because you pay one kinagolo, papa ma blame, it gives you the right to abuse her? No. You don't have one right to abuse a woman. You don't have any right to abuse a female counterpart. Also, you must strengthen him law. Now, at the same time, you must educate him, our citizens, that he does not give you any right to abuse a woman because you have paid a bride price or because you're married to her and that you have signed a paper that she becomes your partner. Mr. Speaker, finally, individual relationships triggers. Substance is also alcohol. Alcohol, time old man drink beer, outino sem beer now and by talk, now can fight him merry blow. You must strengthen him law when it comes to alcohol. Man kissing beer and drink beer and abusing women. There must be bigger, stronger penalties to lock up that man. Drugs, the abuse of illicit drugs in Papua New Guinea has caused a lot of issues in our nation. Now you must work with law enforcement agencies to make certain that this abuse of alcohol, abuse of illicit drugs must stop. Mr. Speaker, action is needed and must be enforced immediately. You mean no can come inside the house, now you mean talk, protect him, or merit us all. You mean no can come, na talk, protect him, or girls, na women inside this parliament house, that's all. Talk, finish, and there's no action. There must be action in this house. This house, I'm representing both male and female genders of this nation. Now, whilst I speak about protecting women and girls in our nation, there are some men also who suffer quietly. And we must also deal with that issue as well. We must give equal opportunity to men who are also suppressed. Whilst we speak to give that opportunity, equal opportunity to women, we must also look at the abuse that men also go through. If we are serious to address the gender-based violence issue in this country, it must start with we leaders first. You must run him homes, houses blame me, families blame me. You must support him churches blame me. You must support him all institutes in our country to enforce this gender-based violence agenda that we are talking about today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Governor Blasiewicz.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to also join the debate, and I begin by thanking the Honorable Minister on this, for bringing this paper on this occasion of following the International Women's Day. I speak as Deputy Chair of the Gender Equity and Women's Empowerment Committee. My Chairman, the Honorable Paul Sparkop. And I want to, before I start, let me acknowledge our two women leaders on the floor and our women leaders who are sitting in the gallery this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, this walk where you may start him long. I may start underneath long leadership long Prime Minister James Marape, where I've been making a special committee. Underneath long leadership long Charles Abel in the last Parliament. I had the privilege of also being the deputy then. Now, plenty work has been come up, so me like acknowledge him online go past, especially the Honorable Charles Abel, who is no longer here, and to also acknowledge the current chairman, the Honorable Paul Sparkop, good work and me walk him now. Minister Peter for being an absolute champion, working alongside the committee in implementing the recommendations that were presented in the last Parliament, Mr. Speaker. So plenty work been come up pinis. Plenty good Tok Prime Minister me make him. Mino nablo duel lo desla. I just wanted to bring a couple of points to the floor, particularly in that in part of our last, when it was a special committee, one thing been come up inside long recommendations, Mr. Speaker, long bringing one nupla act come long Parliament, long cut him down this la passin blong, not just to do with gender, but it come lo side long sorcery related accusation violence. You may look him also Prime Minister I talk pinis this la passin blong. Kill him all innocent Mary na pikinini. I think the youngest person who was accused of sorcery, not only rape him, broke him leg and blong him, which is absolutely horrific. Not only try him to kill him. She was only 3 years old. Her mother was accused of sorcery-related violence, not only kill him, mama blong him. Not only turn him back, not only torture him, this legally girl, from when she was 3 until she was rescued at 5 years old. Imagine the trauma that this young citizen of our country had to endure, despite all of the protections afforded her in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. So this is a Parliament. Namila talk thank you to all get a member of last Parliament, Mr. Speaker. And I want to emphasize this point. I tabled a private member's bill to amend the criminal law. And we criminalized all glassman, all prayer warriors, Mr. Speaker. And I want to stress this point for the members of the current House of Parliament. As a result of that change, nubla law you may bring him come inside, Mr. Speaker. There were 138 arrests made, and 14 of those arrests have resulted in jail terms, Mr. Speaker. 138 pla only still go through law court now. Now, 14 pla only karabus, because only pretend also all prayer warriors, all prophet, now all glassman, now only accuse him, innocent women, old people, and they were killed. Now as a result of that work, now because you me passing one law, 14 pla only kiss him time inside the house karabus now. And that brings me to this point, Mr. Speaker. Power blow yumi, role blow yumi, lo this la floor. You know, lo talk, nothing. You know, when I brought the private members' bill to the floor, it took us 5 minutes lo passing this law. 5 minutes. And as a result of that, now Yumi got banished and messed up inside the law. This is the power of the state. This is the power that all of us as legislators, Yumi got. Suppose Yumi like protect him rights or banish him, all innocent Mary na pikinini blow Yumi. Not just now, but into the future. We must bring bills to the floor. Either we amend legislation or we bring in new legislation so that the power of the state is brought to bear on these problems, Mr. Speaker. Talk nothing, and you know I'll be more line other side. So, good play example, and this play Glassman bill, where I want to thank this Honorable House, especially the last Parliament, all members law, this time. The unanimous decision taken is now resulting in active arrests and putting people in jail. There is another law that we need to bring to this floor. Police Minister, suppose you sit down, Harry Mr. Attorney General, I could come back and bring another private member's bill. But me not making yet. I've raised it previously as Deputy Chair. And that is the no-drop policy, Mr. Speaker. In Australia, suppose you perpetrate in Wambla violence against in Wambla Mary. Now suppose Mary I me porret because you strong bla man, now you muscle man, now you got gun inside the house blow you. Now Mary protem you. Police can still charge you without the help of the woman. Now you by still go through, now you by still go na karabus. We need that law here, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to bring another private member's bill. But me lose him long hand blong. Minister blong justice. I me lose him long hand blong police minister. You do look. Your own police officers have recommended this law. Law must come lo Papua New Guinea. Now suppose you may member of parliament true, you may like make him some senis inside the family. You may true like strong in family, okay, you may carry him low, you can lo strong him. Talk, nothing lo mouse say, no, not make him the something, Mr. Speaker. So I'm number one talk me like talk, me no nap lo repeat him. Or narpla talk where all leaders go pass. The second thing, and we had part of that debate yesterday, long ting, na look. Long side, long walk, where CLRC been walking. Now reserve seats belong all Mary, Mr. Speaker. Plandi yubla member of parliament, yubla nubla, na yubla youngpla. So you good pla also, we must bring him this la full story come. Ana need long government belong Sir Michael Somare. Na deputy belong him, the Honorable Sepuka Temu, who is still with us in this house. Sepuka Temu formed a group called the NPC. Ana need long leadership belong him, two pla important work he been come up. One blame Vision 2050. Narabla, there was a reform task force headed by Sir Barry Holloway, the Holloway Committee. The Holloway Committee was looking at the issue in 2009, Mr. Speaker. Long how by you may bring him all Mary come inside long walking representation long all inside lo display house. Based on that significant work that was carried out by the Holloway Committee, this recommendation belong reserve seats have been come up. And not only that, there was a recommendation for a bicameral house, a Senate, an upper house, something that we discussed on the floor yesterday as part of a different discussion, Mr. Speaker. Now, I would urge the CLRC chairman who is here, other relevant ministers, Mr. Speaker, look this recommendations is step inside. There's a significant raft of recommendations by the Holloway Committee as to why we should be moving to a bicameral house, Mr. Speaker. Part of that reasoning was so that the special seats for women would actually go to the upper house, want them all regional members. Now there are several recommendations there. So all this la house here by me reducing number because, Mr. Speaker, the move by the Marape Rosso government to create more open seats and by you require Narbla House because the number of seats here could increase to 140. So by putting all Mary Lowe, all Mary leaders. Because of that, the thinking was already done by the Holloway Committee in 2009, Mr. Speaker. And I think the report is sitting perhaps in the Prime Minister's office, somewhere there. Plenty of work money stop now long. Office belong Prime Minister, they were involved in that work going all the way back. So, on top of that, we come back to the issue of elections integrity, Mr. Speaker. Namito, thank you long Prime Minister Marape long putting me in charge long this special committee on elections, which I hope in the next parliament will become another permanent committee on elections, Mr. Speaker. Now, we just saw the day elections and I congratulate the member who was elected by the people. One of the issues we see is in the weakness of the election system. Suppose you like try and bring him all Mary come inside. It's already very hard because you've got a faulty electoral system. Now there are a significant raft of recommendations in the committee report that I presented on this floor, Mr. Speaker. Plenty blongol, you may know enacting. There are certain laws that need to be changed to strengthen the electoral process. Now you may look in long day election, you may look in plenty heavy even come up. Now in my personal view, Mr. Speaker, and with great respect to the member who was elected, it is my view that given what we saw, the way that the candidates and the electors conducted themselves, that election should have been failed. I mean, oh, nice platok me making. But again, it comes back to the powers of the state. The state is not enforcing these rules. Something is stopped, but no one is enforcing them, Mr. Speaker. So when you don't enforce the rules, people start breaking the rules. Daimol Brugim now looking also no got heavy, come up under Blodisla, passing law, Brugim law. Then they just keep pushing the boundaries. You can say the same thing for what we see in the gender violence space, Mr. Speaker. People are breaking the law because the state is not holding them accountable. Sorry, Wogi Moyet. We must exercise the power of the state. Now, suppose all people only behave cranky. That power of the state needs to be acted upon. Those who are responsible over those powers must take action. Sabos no that. Now you may brugim law under Highlands. You know, long time by me brugim law tamlo lo nambis na you may all get a start brugim law. And we can't have that, Mr. Speaker. Not in a democratic modern society. Am wrong. You may not pushing responsibility go back to people taso. We as legislators, we have a role to play. And Mr. Speaker, that role is the enaction of laws and the amendment of laws so that we can enforce good behavior in the community. I place to you again this record of the last parliament where nubla law you may karim come inside. I'm karim kai now. So I urge you all, bring in the no-drop policy, me urge him government law working, because everybody not look good, suppose member of the opposition, he carry on the private members bill go down. It must come from the government. All got a nice plan talk, minister I working, prime minister I working, all right. Mr. Speaker, follow up the nice words by enacting a bill, bringing a bill to the floor and let's enact it and make it law. So one day, Despla, you may need to look a full raft. Why was a bicameral house proposed? Why did those who made the proposal at that time, included in their proposal that the reserved seats for women would also be in that upper house, creating space belong. So you don't need to crossfight long here. You can put him all on Narblahap, now by still got useful role. So Mr. Speaker, one time all Despla, fixing election integrity, these things must be done. Not just for now, not just for tomorrow, but into the future. We must protect the good things that are in our system of government. And we can only do that if those that have the power under the law, under the Constitution, exercise those powers with integrity, without fear, and without favor. So everyone is subjected to the same rules, Mr. Speaker. You know, sambla rule apply lo sambla hap, na sambla rule you know apply lo narbla hap. With that, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity to speak as a Deputy Chair.
Member of North Bougainville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. I think Mary Law, Bougainville, North Bougainville, Bougainville, Natulo Papua New Guinea. There's only two of us here at the moment. Thank you, Tomas. Me like talk Hamamas, me like talk congratulations to this honorable house. Long we are talking about an important issue that is important to this country. Also, Prime Minister talk, Mr. Speaker, 64% and big plan number to Masya. Na long you may harim or Brata talk long this la issue, Mr. Speaker. And me swim me pla all mama inside long country that men in Papua New Guinea are now starting to take ownership of an issue in Wokla Bagarapim country, including me pla Bougainville too. So for me as a woman, as a mother, to see the Prime Minister of this nation is an up. Na talk long importance lo yumi or leader in making sure that we take ownership of this. In any country where leadership and we take ownership of any fight, whether it's a violence against women or gender-based violence, it could be HIV and AIDS. I have not heard this parliament talk about the importance law, Yumi talk law HIV. That's another issue where emis have bringing big heavy law people marry inside long country. Let me go back to what we're talking about this morning. Mr. Prime Minister, one time government, you me, thank you, Tomas. You bringing me come long floor, long this parliament, the importance of the leadership of this current government, and me take ownership, long issue, long violence against women. Long last year, we had 2-day session, Mr. Speaker, long this is the same talk. Long last year, you been got one good plus something come up where we had members of the parliament only take ownership. Only talk long, one him something will go through long him. Only bringing me come here, talk out now, talk straight. And this is the beginning of change taking place in this nation. It's about leadership Antap long parliament, taking ownership and making it an issue that is supposed to be talked about. Congratulations long Olga the man in the parliament, to the cabinet, me talk congratulations lo you that, because we are now seeing the men talk about an issue that all man say shy away on him. This nation is starting to see that our men, our husbands, our sons, our tambos, all who lo talk lo something where you play same lo talk lo him. And if you know got one play the money talk lo this la usa ba talk lo him, because the moment we talk about it as women, but you talk all Mary talk again, all talk again, all talk again. The reason why we talk about this is because me and Mary Zakarim beginning. And all of you sitting here today in this chamber, you have a mother. Mama Karim, you here? So when are we starting? When are we going to start, Mr. Speaker? When are we going to start to give the respect to that human being called a mother? Usatem Karim, you milk here. Me talk thank you long plenty blow you stop here. And I could say all of you in this chamber. Thank you, you respect Mary blow you. But if you have not respected your wife or your mother, he coming up now, me ask him to the parliament. When you start to take ownership, when you start to preach about the importance, long you be respecting Mary, blow you me. You be respecting Mama, blow you me. You be respecting Tambo, Mary, blow you me. Now picking Mary, by this la by senes. And through 50 years on, I'm starting to see a parliament. 50 years on, I'm starting to see decision makers of this nation take ownership of gender-based violence. Me harim Prime Minister talk na talk or land proman blo imi usa sa fundamental program time long come down lig na look him good plawok come up in sa long country too. And yes, through the mass. Planti talk Prime Minister talk long em, planti talk Governor talk long em, emol talk when we feel him lahat plo me. Thank you Tomas. This nation is now talking at the level where policies are made. Sampla more policies, sampla more law, sampla more banis you must sanapim. Long banis mi plal mama. Me plakam sanapla here today. I'm an example of a person that has gone through a lot of violence. It's actually really made me the person I am today. You look in Planty Mary that are able to stand today, Honorable Minister, Honorable House. We would have gone through violent lives in our lives to be able to be where we are today. We turned that negativity into something positive to be able to be the voice on the floor long today. Mr. Speaker, I am really happy. Inside lo bros lo mi lo bel lo mi. Me talk thank you lo this la parliament me kapsap long lo 3 play year now. That this parliament is now talking about one kind law. By you me, he make him suppose he got law he come up in his governor blong he speak. Thank you to support him all mama. Thank you to Prime Minister. Thank you to everybody that is here today. You go back home today. If you want to man have a slappy Mary blow you, change your attitude. Change your attitude. This nation will go the way it's supposed to go because you, Papa, you, Bubu Man, you basenism. It starts with you and it will end with you. It will start with us here inside the parliament. Now, but you look and plan, you could put something come up. Me halivim Governor Bloy speak, talking about the reserve seats, talking about the importance of getting more women into parliament. You don't have to look too far. Bougainville got 3 reserve seats, Tapinis, Mr. Speaker. Missing down 2 terms the reserve seat. Milan in politics, I've got the support of the men, my brothers in parliament, and I'm sitting here today. The reserve seats does work. It is a safety net. Safety net. Safety net. Long ABG parliament now, supposing you got Mary or the elect him open seat. But you say all them by got triple mama by come inside long all get the parliament because the 3 reserve seats is enshrined in the constitution. There will come a time, it's TSM, temporary special measure. There will come a time me play looking all same, hey, all mama, all elect more long open seat now, yeah, which is happening in Bougainville now. All Mary now, all work come inside, long all open seat. Women have contested the presidential seat. The only seat that women have not contested is the ex-combatant seat. Me blood mama lo Bougainville, me blood talk, let's work together. Let in 2030, you may put him some mama lo contest him, seat ex-combatant. Why are we looking too far when the story is very positive next door? Reserve seat, all people is elected. To Platam is an reserve seat. I am elected by men and women, and children of 18 years old, all by electing me to me go inside. And because I'm elected as a woman rep, it doesn't disempower me. And me giving me opportunity, lo me mama, lo come inside. 5 years me sitting down, me learning politics. Me finding out how can I work well with my male colleagues. And it's really worked well. Why do you think I'm standing here today? The reserve seat, and me giving Mipla or mama, strong. Lo Mipla go inside. At the same time, thank you, Long Governor. Always back up. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Governor, that we've got male champions in this parliament. I sing praise to you. We need more champions in our provinces. Champion that cause. If we have at least 3/4 of this parliament made up of women, by looking back at plenty Senis by come out. About 5 years ago, me plago sindan long kokopo. Or the NGI mama kambung lo kokopo. And we looked at what's the best way to actually get women into the parliament of Papua New Guinea, Governor, lo ECP. Now me protocol them, let's go regions. Islands by got one pla rep longem. Islands by got one pla rep. Highlands by got one pla rep. Momase by got one pla rep. Now southern region by got one pla rep. This would be regional representation. All the mama karamapim NGI, you'll have a rep. 5 pla seat inside lo here. I know it would be expensive to actually have 22 or 23 reserve seats. But it would be nice to actually have 5 pla Mary, marking 5 pla region inside Long Papua New Guinea. The reason why me say one time Parliament lo disla or talk when people mama walking long and sharing the Bougainville experience, we can do better learning from other provinces. We can do better learning from other Pacific nations. A lot of Pacific nations only look at one and something people are walking to Bougainville. Now I'll talk, if it works over there, I'm sure it can work here too. Other people talk, other countries are practicing party quarters. Plenty to also no work good to us. I think let's do it that way. There are no wrong ways, no right ways. There are only workable way. When I'm something not long walk good, you may try and put him inside. But me keep him talk me also. I just want to say congratulations to this government, Blo Marape, Naroso, to the opposition, Alberta Blo me too. Thank you for supporting that cause. Thank you to us. Now me talk, there's a light now in Satlo Tunnel Blong, Yumilo Papua New Guinea. Congratulations one more time. You're all staring at me like you have not seen me in ages. You know why you're staring at me? Because we can make it happen, Papua New Guinea. We can make it happen. And I want this government to go down in history that before our term is over, Mr. Prime Minister is smiling at me. Let's make it happen. Let's rock that cradle and make it happen. You waiting on him. 50 years on, let's go. Usap kam sinanimi lo ya, Mr. Speaker. You know stop not sinanimi lo ya. This government, Emi Lukim, that women in Papua New Guinea can also sit on that honorable chair. And congratulations, long this parliament again, long this government. That time you sit down him, Mama Franco long this seat, you sit down and marry Papua New Guinea and tap lahabia. Do you see that? You realizing that? This is the honorable thing that this nation, this is the honorable thing that this parliament, and we make him long 50 years, the country will miss up. Thank you to Maslo. You say Sam, Mary Papua New Guinea, house play you too. You marry Blok Kukim Kai Kai. You marry Blok Karim Pikine. You marry Blong Karen Pikini 50 years on. This nation, you must talk thank you, Long Mipla, Olga the Mama inside Long Papua New Guinea. You are sitting here today because you got Mama. You get a feed in the morning because you've got a beautiful wife. For those of you that have more than one wife, I'm not judging you. I'm saying manage them good. You manage it. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to say you be fair, and you be fair to everyone. You are sitting in the middle of 2 to 3 wives. I'm not judging you. All I'm saying, are you able to manage it? Are you able to manage it? And manage it well. Korosa fight because you want him, you favorite him, when the long plagarage, and so plagarage, you better call some no camino like him, and something. You're right too. You gotta be fair. And if you're not fair, that's what Prime Minister talk long him. Pani one law by talk polygamy too. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for giving me time. Missing a plenty time. No, you're not me too. But Mr. Speaker, congratulations one more time. This Parliament is now creating champions in this nation, moving 50 years in Guanta. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you to us. Thank you that you make him big play work. Honorable Paul Sparkle, thank you for that committee that you work hard long him. Minister, thank you. You read him paper, you present him, and I knew you were emotional as well. Thank you. Now God by blessing me. Thank you, Tomas.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Speaker. I too want to contribute to this very important debate. I take note of all the input that's been given by leaders that have stood before me, especially the Prime Minister. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, thank you, Minister. Yesterday I accused half of Cabinet of being sleepy Joes, but thank you for coming forth and highlighting some of the work that you've been doing. But in short, Mr. Speaker, it's just simply not enough. It's simply not enough. And I'm a little bit critical because we publicly invited the government and the good minister to join the opposition in a national salve campaign starting last year. And we haven't heard boo from both the minister on our activities throughout the Highlands region on sorcery accusation-related violence. That has just been simply horrendous, and it has absolutely affected society throughout the Highlands and the country. Mr. Speaker, in looking at the statement by the good minister, I take note of number 2, securing GBV program funding, 9.7 million, and then at number 9, investing at the grassroots 6.2 million since 2022. The long and the short of it, Mr. Speaker, is that if we're serious about gender-based violence, protecting our women and girls, if we're serious about getting rid of sorcery accusation-related violence throughout all of Papua New Guinea, all the societies, you have to put money where your mouth is, Mr. Speaker. It's just not enough. This is just crumbs, it is pittance. Mr. Speaker, if we're talking about a 31 billion 2026 budget, 9.7 million kina, it's not even 1%, it's not even 0.1%. It's not even 0.01%. It's crumbs. Every year, we have recorded issues of sorcery accusation-related violence. We have some of these horrendous crimes caught on social media, where they're burning our women, they're hanging them, they're lynching them, they're mutilating them, they're maiming them, they're cutting them up. So if the government's going to get serious, it has to get serious with funding. We have to put money where our mouths are. We have to put money to drive policy. We have to put money into prosecution. We have to put money into awareness, into enforcement. We have to give money to the frontline workers and all these NGOs that are out there day in and day out dealing with this issue firsthand. So that's, from what the ministers announced, 9.7 million is simply not enough. The failure here, and I take note of the good Prime Minister's comments, about the good book, about Genesis. And it's all very clear the women are the weaker sex. So the situation in the country, this contemporary scourge of SARV, the fact that it's recurrent and it's happening day in and day out throughout PNG, is because we have so many weak men in society that fail to honor their women, respect the women, and uphold the dignity of mothers in society. This is why we have this plague that's affecting the country. Now, simply put, Mr. Speaker, if you and I were down in Australia, na suppose mitla pasim talk na mitla kuna buy one bla bush knife lo hardware blow na mitla ksimam bla rope. Na ba mitla kuna hanga mabim dislameri na ba mitla katemem because sem one bla sanguma. What do you think would happen, Mr. Speaker? Just you and I taking a noose of rope and a machete down the road, in just minutes, we would be arrested, picked up, and locked up. This is what's lacking in government today, Mr. Speaker. Enforcement, enforcement, enforcement. We have the systems in place. We have the laws in place. Our Constitution, it's already there. What's lacking is enforcement. Now, through you, Mr. Speaker, Prime Minister, this can only happen when there's political will. We can't weaken our institutions. We have to promote our institutions and put money into these institutions to augment and heighten enforcement. In the Highlands, it's becoming far too common for youth, young men, to just be carrying machetes through the streets. It's a daily occurrence in our towns, in our stations, in our centers. And what do the police do? Nothing. There's no enforcement. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to see the Minister participate with the opposition in the National SARV campaign, because we have to end this nonsense, especially in Simbu, where I come from, where every time this happens, we talk about time blow operation, time blow cleanup. When there's a death in Simbu, we expect 2 to 3 people to die, because no death can take place because of medical reasons. It has to be sorcery related. This is some of the most remotest parts of the country. Our women and girls are so vulnerable in these parts. So I call on the government, through you, Mr. Speaker, and the Minister, to up the amount that we're putting into these very, very important programs for gender-based violence, for SARV. 10 million kina is just pittance. How can you cover 22 provinces with 10 million kina? How can you deal with all the prosecution and the enforcement with 10 million kina? So that's my contribution to the debate. And Minister, I encourage you to continue the good work, to join the opposition in this SARV campaign nationwide, which the Prime Minister is fully aware of and he's already endorsed. So we wait for your participation to champion it, so it can be a bipartisan approach. This is not partisan politics, Mr. Speaker. This is a national indictment that requires a unified effort to deal with it once and for all and just end this for our women and girls. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of the Police.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a rise to contribute to this debate. I acknowledge our grandmothers. I also acknowledge our mothers. I lost my mother in a very stormy situation. She didn't deserve to pass on the way she did. So much so for gender-based violence. Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge my good wife. I have got 3 daughters. And Mr. Speaker, as I acknowledge my good wife and my 3 daughters, I acknowledge all our daughters right throughout the breadth and the length of this country. And our good mothers, and may I say our good wives, our queens of our home. may I especially acknowledge them. Our sisters right across this country, we acknowledge you, and the ladies here in this chamber. We've got young girls here in the chambers and sisters here in the chambers who are listening to our debate. Mr. Speaker, I thank God we have a beautiful country indeed, and a nation that is well blessed. And Mr. Speaker, I do agree with the debate from the good member for North Bougainville. The fact that Mibla Garasindan Long here, Mibla no Kamlo Ulblostonia, Mibla Kamlo Wanbla, loving mother, and all of us do sincerely love our mothers and our sisters, and they are worthy of our protection. Mr. Speaker, gender-based violence has no place in our society, and Mr. Speaker, must not have any space in our country of beautiful mothers and sisters. Mr. Speaker, we must protect our women, we must protect our children, we must protect our vulnerable populations. Mr. Speaker, I support the call to strengthen laws as a deterrent to gender-based violence. We also need to improve on support services, Mr. Speaker, and ensure perpetrators face the full force of the law or justice. Mr. Speaker, I heard our good Prime Minister in his debate about a letter he sent to the Commissioner of Police for a dedicated gender-based violence investigation unit in every one of our police stations right throughout the country. Mr. Speaker, putting gender-based violence units in every station is, I believe, as the new Minister for Police, a step towards a safer environment for our grandmothers, mothers, our daughters, and our sisters. Mr. Speaker, it is basically a powerful step towards safer communities. Mr. Speaker, these gender-based violence units in each police stations will go to show we as a government are serious about tackling gender-based violence in the country. Mr. Speaker, as the new Minister for Police, I will not just follow up on the letter by the Prime Minister to our good Commissioner of Police, but Mr. Speaker, I will ensure it is done in all of our police stations right throughout our country. Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge the good debate by the ECP Governor and that of the good opposition leader, and say that we need to further strengthen some of our laws in relation to gender-based violence and sorcery for that matter, which I believe are related to gender-based violence against our women. Mr. Speaker, sorcery accusations often mask underlying issues in the world of gender-based violence in our country. And Mr. Speaker, these brutal acts are a form of gender-based violence rooted in harmful beliefs and impunity. Tackling sorcery-related violence means addressing gender-based violence. Mr. Speaker, I will work closely with the good Attorney General in reviewing some of our laws that deals with gender-based violence and sorcery-related issues and challenges we have in the country that relates to our laws. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's my contribution to this debate.
All honorable members, by you may get plenty. All members see like talk or debate or discuss or display issue. Yeah. Here now we like look sabe long honorable member Lord Day. Make him talk pastor display.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to stand before this Honorable House, the elected leaders of this country, including the Honorable Prime Minister and the opposition leader. Before I contribute to the debate this morning about the development of women in our beautiful country, let me, as this is my first time to speak this morning before this Honorable House, thank the people of Day for supporting me and conducting a successful election. I have prepared a short speech, and I'll try to summarize that before I go to my contribution towards this debate. Mr. Speaker, I rise today with great honor and humility to address this Honourable House for the first time as the duly elected member for the Day Open Electorate. First, let me thank God Almighty for embracing me with this leadership challenge to lead the people of Day for the next 12 months. Also, I would like to commend my beautiful wife and children, including my extended family, and more importantly, my parents, my mom and dad. And as we talk about the issue of women, I'd like to luksawelo mama blomi, na oltumuna mama blomi, na Mary blomi. I myself, I have 4 daughters, and so woman I am surrounded by women in my house every night. And I also have 4 sisters, so this issue is important to us, and I am glad to sit here and hear very distinguished leaders contributing to this issue. Now, Mr. Speaker, on the 19th of February 2026, following the by-election conducted after the passing of our late member, Honorable Stephen Pim, I also Meluksao Logem, now past leaders from Mipla. Amongst the many that have come and gone, one of the remaining leaders going as far back as 1964 during the House of Assembly is a leader from my electorate, and he's the first sitting member that's for my electorate, Honorable Parwa Kuri. He is still alive. He was celebrated last year during the 50th year celebration. So me, Luksao Logodol past leaders blow day, usadi kam sit down lo disla parliament representative me blow disla people blow day. Now two lol day people in Makimi lo represent him all. Igadol plenty all issue blow day as you blow plenty sawem. We lost our leader back in 2023, 1 year after he was elected. And there's a lot to be done for my district, and I thank the good Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, for making his time available to meet me during the first week of my swearing in, and making made the commitment of this government to support me with district funds to look at developing my district for the last years that we have not seen any development. Now, coming to the issue of women, as I indicated, I'm surrounded by women in my family, and looking at my electorate, one of the main issues we have is I have no police station in my district, and there's only one policeman in my district. Now, when we talk about gender-based violence, in places like Port Moresby or in places like Ley, Montagan, the cities, you have most of the policemen concentrated around the city areas. But when you go out to the districts, there's no policemen. And the message of gender-based violence does not get down to the people, and especially the young men and the young women. And one of the areas that I see where the communities at the very low level who engage on a daily basis are with the teachers, with the nurses, and with the pastors back in the village. there's no policeman to talk about the gender-based violence issue. Now, if these are people who are there on a daily basis, there's something that we need to look at in this House as to how we can empower these people or this group of public servants to how they can assist in promoting the awareness about gender-based violence. Now, we just recently did an election, and plenty of campaign blow mipla talk on another issue, but not about gender-based violence. Well, it is a real issue. And that is because if you be looking, lo legal community blow you know got plenty time, this la talk and me talk. Because you know got all program and me go down lower level. Now, I agree with the opposition leader. I believe if there's enough funding for looks out all this like a program, plenty of one is come up no place. Then by me looks out along this like a no levy, he come up long old Mary. Now most of our talk is about the woman, but we must not lose focus on the men. Gender-based violence will only happen if we don't, will continue to happen if you know looks out law, developing money come up, looks out law, what is the right way to live, what is the right way to conduct yourself, and what are the right characters. Because I was straight more beginning man, I believe gender-based violence will not be a story anymore. And our concentration should also go towards developing all young man, now young magi. Because plenty time on school magi, one place you make a line more emlo school, no primary school, no high school, no secondary school. That's why if school system we can go na talk more on gender-based violence or or get all issue of Mary, na respecting Mary, then by you come up in more good young man way. This like an issue but slowly go down. But if you don't look at that level, now you talk lantap that's all. These issues are going to continuously remain. Because I came from a time, as some of you, where gender-based violence was not an issue before. Or power line good. I still have my parents, my mom and dad, they married back in the 60s, and today they still husband and wife. And they showed us how to live as mom and dads. Na papa, pignini, na dislike and passion. So along the way, it has broken down, as the Prime Minister correctly said. And that is why we need to go back and educate our young men to how to respect another young girl in the class, inside the house too, inside the bus, the marketplace. Now, suppose we work more dislike on something, we feel emotion, we can get it right. And if we cannot change, maybe the next generation only come, stop him dislike and all. Evil will continue more because 50 years and we need to start looking at how you may grow him on next. Only beginning now only establish school again. That is my contribution to this, and I thank this Honourable House for giving me the opportunity to speak as well. Thank you.
Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to join the debate. First of all, I'd like to commend the Minister for putting the paper on the floor of Parliament and also his personal experience on it. The work he has done, the good work he's done, I commend him, Lodisla. And one thing we should all look at, Mr. Speaker, is that on both sides of the House, every man, I think one of the biggest agenda is this agenda, this discussion, violence against our women folk. I think we all agree that we all stand united together to addressing the scourge that continues to hassle our women and our young girls. Before I go on, I'd like to offer my congratulations to an Honourable Desmond Kipper, Member for Day. Welcome to Parliament, and congratulations on your seat and your people of Day. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the Governor for New Ireland, Provincial Member for New Ireland, the Honourable Byron Chan also. Welcome to Parliament. And yes, Mr. Speaker, whilst we all continue and we have heard very good debates from both sides of the House to try to address this pressing issue that affects 50% of our people, which are women and young girls. And sitting and listening, I'm encouraged by this unity from both sides of the House. But whilst we continue to debate and lead from the front, and I agree, leadership must start from the front, from the Prime Minister's office, from my office, from every individual here, the opposition leader's office, all of us, to stand united to fix this problem. We also must look at every individual in the household, every male on the streets and villages of Papua New Guinea. Our attitudes must change because it starts there. Whilst we make laws, whilst we try to enforce laws, Mr. Speaker, it is the attitude of every individual male that needs to address this problem. And I'm glad listening to the Honourable Keeper speaking about it. These things, in our time, we were taught in schools to respect women and girls. After the 80s, it sort of went wayside. In the 90s, you started to see a lot of disrespect of our women folk. For the so-called Sav and Sanguma, in the 80s, you never heard of anyone being hanged, anyone being battered. I was a young Kiap in Chimbu, and we never saw this. We never saw this. This is an introduced issue that affects our women folk. In the 90s and today now, people have brought it in and said it is customary practice. And bullshit. I'm not customary practice. That's bullshit. It's from people adopting it, from looking at videos of people burning women at the stakes.
Point of order, Honourable Governor.
Respectfully, and I didn't want to interrupt my good friend and the Deputy Prime Minister's very good contributions, but could he kindly rouse him this lap talk and me put him now. It's on parliamentary language. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Governor, yes, me through also talk this will have talk me talking me no straight lo here. So I think me like express him when me like talking. So me straight to lo talking this la kind long yeah. So
thank you, my
Deputy Prime Minister. You can go ahead and talk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, my brother Governor. You yet lo passing before. I toned down a lot from my use of words, choice of words, but I will respect that. I was trying to show the issue and show that, express the feeling that we all have in this House, and I think it is a rightful choice of word, in my opinion. But the issue in the 90s, it started coming out from people watching social media, watching old movies of people, witches getting burnt at the stake on movies in England and previously in the medieval ages. And people started misusing this, Mr. Speaker, and saying it was customary practice. People of my era and people who most who sit in these chambers, this is no customary practice. It is a brought-in practice. And people abuse it. Lo bagarapim ol meri, now vulnerable people like old men trying to take over land from people who were defenseless to safeguard themselves, people who had no children, Mr. Speaker, bainap sanap pigini man sanap na tok. All this like something walk him na, I bagarapim, sit down, lo line limi lo place. And whilst this scourge should be addressed by everyone here, it needs clear pathways. And I would like to commend Governor Bird in the Parliament as a deputy of this SAV and Violence Against Women Committee, and also Governor Pakop for his instrumental leadership that continues to remind us on all this. And every single member of Parliament sitting here who contribute towards this every time we sit. It is something that we all hold close to our heart. You may all get come up, Lord, Piginini Mary, our mothers that we cherish. You may all get Piginini Mary, you may get all Mama. So Yumi Ogada and Yumi united against this something. But it doesn't just stop here. Whilst we enact laws, it needs effective enforcement of those laws, clear pathways. And whilst we go down that path, I am very encouraged to know that after setting up this committee, after seeing the passion on the floor, after passing the laws that are supposed to be passed, and as Governor Bird pointed out, Mr. Speaker, 14 people have now been convicted of those crimes, those horrific crimes, Mr. Speaker. And I hope that we should see more of them. Or Glassman, or Lion Gyaman Suti Tok Losanguma, or Gyaman Prayer Warrior, or Wokim Ol Disla something na Sutim nothing lol vulnerable line. So, Mr. Speaker, whilst Yumi Luk Lo Disla since the 1980s he come, now Yumi start playing. I am also grateful that we have achieved some progress. But we need to do more. We need to do a whole lot more. But I am encouraged that 14 people are now behind bars, serving times for that. I am encouraged that Parliament has passed laws, and as our Governor for ECPIC has pointed out, those laws were passed within 5 minutes. It showed how important this message was, that Parliament thought, on both sides of the House, that we need to pass these laws to protect our women and our children. And I am very encouraged by that. Mr. Speaker, when I was in Chimbu, as I pointed out earlier, this practice was not done. But it has just come out in the 1990s throughout a lot of our homes. Even in my own home in Leh, this practice has started rearing its emerging head. When I was a policeman standing at the counter, the duty counter, serving with the Metropolitan Command in Leh, a lot of times you would see people say, policemen on duty say, "Am something blow, marit problem." When there was a complaint coming in, about the marit problem, karim golo, house na yuna man blue stratim. But now, that attitude has changed. Now I commend our law enforcement officers, because when I go down and visit the station, I see, Mr. Speaker, that the police force has taken it seriously. And they are now setting up FSVU offices around the country. And I take you back to my hometown of Leh again, Mr. Speaker. We have a very effective FSVU unit there, manned by very effective women. And I would caution any men who try to do something against a woman to be brought before them, because I've seen them in action, and I would not want to be in anyone's shoes and being brought to the police station. So yes, Mr. Speaker, there has been progress on a lot of fronts. But as I pointed out earlier, that progress needs to be more. And I also would like to add on, Mr. Speaker, on what the Honourable Member for Day pointed out. This needs to be done and started at an early age. That respect for our women folk and our elderly, and for a general attitude, it needs to be done inside our schools and inside our homes, Mr. Speaker. Look at the Japanese experience. When you look at the schools in Japan, they open doors for their elders. You will never see a Japanese person assaulting his womenfolk. He will always speak respectful. Let us learn from those sort of educational systems and do reforms in that light so that we can teach our young people. Also, Mr. Speaker, let us not look far from our own cultural norms. Our forefathers didn't beat their women. They didn't beat their daughters. They were tough, they were strong. But they taught us a lot of respect to respect our womenfolk. Where did we go wrong? Starting from 1919, Akamantap. Where did we go wrong? So it needs a general change of attitude from everyone. While law enforcement and laws can be made, the general attitude of our people needs to be changed, especially our menfolk. We talk about enforcement laws. We blame everything under the sun. You may go lo boroko, you may talk, hey, why no man pickpocket lo boroko na? You may blame him. Prime Minister, all man fight about lo aninit lo. One pla bris lo erima o kana say me talk, hey, Prime Minister, you know like I'm certain. Our job here is to pass laws. Enforcement and the general attitude of our people needs to change. A general attitude of people needs to change. If you're an ordinary person, now you walk about the street, now you look at one plus susa or man pulling basket blame lo bus stop. Walk blue you disla man no sanap na halbim disla susa. Time you sanap na you hare mo se one plus neighbor blue fight him. One plus man, fight one plus man or Mary. Walk blue you lo sanap na halbim disla Mary or disla man. Time you run lo bus, lig something. No can throw my PPL lo bus. You run backside lo bus or car, you look at sawe man. Of down in glass, pet boy, gara set, trauma, ogra cargo, ogra something outside. This is passing in Sakamablo before. It's a general breakdown of attitude that we need to change. That is very important, and it needs to be taught, Mr. Speaker, in our schools. It needs to be led from the front by people in Parliament, and it needs to be led from the front, from our homes, from our fathers, from our sons, and especially from our menfolk throughout the country. It is a united effort, Mr. Speaker, that everyone across the country needs to rise up. Now you mistreat him. Mr. Speaker, it's not just about violence against women. We also need to improve our women folks' lives. In the areas of cancer, too many times we have our sisters, you got cancer, and we can't treat them. We need to improve on that. Make sure they have the necessary tools and medicine for the cancer. We need to help them in their health issues, on family planning for both men and women. So organization is something it needs to be done, Mr. Speaker. And whilst we on that, Mr. Speaker, I would also like to once again commend both sides of the House on the passion that we have shown on the floor today, and that should be brought down all the way to our menfolk, Mr. Speaker, on the streets and villages to ensure that we continue this vibrant discussion to ensure that violence against our women and our daughters should be thrown out of the door. From our homes, from the streets, let us all stand up and be men. Man ono sa paiti meri natin. Yumi paiti meri, yumi mas same PPR straight lo dislagain pasin. So all man out there, I implore every person, every male, every son of this nation, please respect him. All Pikinini Mary, respect him, all Mama, respect him also, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Governor of Long NCD.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to this very important national debate. Important human rights and development agenda that our country is faced with. I want to firstly acknowledge the accolades that have been accorded to me as chairman of our Permanent Parliamentary Committee and working in this space in the last Parliament session and term of Parliament, and this term of Parliament, the 11th term of Parliament. I thank the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, all members of Parliament for acknowledging the work that we do, especially for me personally. But I want to acknowledge my deputy too, Honorable Alan Bird, Governor of ECP, and all our committee members. Acknowledge our previous members of the Special Parliamentary Committee on GVB. I think Honorable Charles Sable, now Mr. Charles Sable, was our chairman, and committee members at the time, for the great work that they have done and we continue to do in this term of Parliament. But today too, I want to acknowledge the Prime Minister for his leadership and for today speaking passionately about this very important national agenda. Achieving gender equality and ending gender-based violence facing half our population in our country. 50 years on, we're still facing this very important challenge that if we overcome, will usher us into a greater future. greater possibility, much better country and better people, better quality of life than perhaps we have been living with in the last 50 years. Today too, I want to acknowledge all members of parliament from both the government side and opposition. Together, it's been exceptional. I want to acknowledge too our Minister for Community Development, Honorable Jason Peter, Mr. Speaker. Everybody has been exceptional and outstanding. Mr. Speaker, 1 year ago, we had an unprecedented 2 days of Parliament session that we dedicated to addressing, firstly, gender-based violence, but more importantly, the agenda of gender equality, women's empowerment. It was unprecedented in that it's never been held before. And it is credit to the leadership of the Prime Minister, the government of Marape Rosso, members of the Cabinet, Minister, and the Parliament as a whole. It's not just unprecedented in our history, but there I say to Mr. Speaker that if we compare Parliament and record of governments and Parliament of the world, I think that what we achieved or what we did 1 year ago is exceptional. And Parliament must be commended. And members of Parliament, leaders on both sides, we must be commended. And today, Mr. Speaker, your House is also risen to this challenge on both sides. The speeches and commitments that have been articulated and uttered by all our leaders has been outstanding too. And I want to commend, as chairman of our Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, commend all our leaders. The change starts with all of us acknowledging and recognizing the challenges at hand and the need for us to address these very important human rights and development challenges. The need to achieve gender equality is not just a women's agenda. It's a national agenda. It is incumbent upon government and leaders. And today, we have started and we continue to do this journey, continue to utter what needs to be uttered. And on behalf of my committee, I'm very humble and very pleased with the members of Parliament. I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, if time allows, all members of Parliament will join in the debate and speak passionately. But time will not allow us, perhaps, but nevertheless, I want to acknowledge the great steps that we are taking. I want to acknowledge the leadership of the Prime Minister and the government too. The challenge facing women and girls of our country, Prime Minister has reminded us that it's not so bad in our country, and we could acknowledge that. But the reality that women and girls face and the gap that still exists in our country is still wide. You can see it here vividly in the floor of Parliament. Out of 118, there's only 3 women in Parliament, Mr. Speaker. So in the political space, there's still a big gap. At the national level, at the provincial level, local level, the picture is the same. That's the challenge that we face. And Mr. Speaker and members of Parliament, honorable members of Parliament, if we look at the other space in the bureaucracy, the public service, it's almost the same. 30% of the workforce are women. Up at the top, at the secretary or MD or CEO of various government organizations, it's very small. So yes, women and girls of our country has made advancement, but the gap is still big. In the business sector too, it's the same, Mr. Speaker, it's the same, honorable members, it's the same. Maybe 30% of the businesses, formal business that is, is managed or run by women. It's still a men's world out there. And you can say the same in all the other space. In the religious or our spiritual life, the churches are mainly dominated still by men. The priests, pastors are still men. The deacons are still men. The elders are still men. Women are just members of the congregation. Only a few exceptional. And in our communities too, both at the clan and tribal level, yes, we acknowledge, as Prime Minister say, part of about 30% of our country is matrilineal, so we can acknowledge the traditional status of women in that regard. We can acknowledge too, even in the patrilineal part of our country too, there is deep recognition and respect for women. It's gone wrong along the way in these 50 years, and that's why we need to correct it. But in the contemporary structures that we are developing too, like the ILGs, give me control him, ILGs. And I want to mention ILGs because that's where leadership at our community level decide the utilization of our resources, whether it's gold, copper, oil, or gas, DY or fisher. And it's still a man's world. Man, you may dictate it, or you may leaders, swim leadership, or we get the royalty, or we get the whatever equity, or we get the benefits from logging or mining. And so this is the reality facing our country, Mr. Speaker. Against that, I want to acknowledge the steps or progress that we made. And we must acknowledge this, Mr. Speaker. We all want things to change dramatically, but sometimes things take time. We go in small pace, but even in small pace, we must acknowledge and celebrate and inspire ourselves to keep on going. But some of the things that, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, this government, that we have made progress on, must be acknowledged. We must give credit where it's due. Mr. Speaker, some of the points that I want to highlight, and the Minister did highlight, I might be repeating, but it needs to be highlighted. In the last Parliament, the 10th Parliament, in 2021, we set up the Special Parliamentary Committee on GVB. That's a first ever in our country. It's probably an exceptional against all parliament of the world. We must acknowledge the leadership that the Prime Minister has provided, the government has supported, and Parliament we have equally supported. Since that committee was formed, a lot of recommendation has been made, and principally, in the main, Mr. Speaker, one of the development, a major development that has happened is government started funding the national strategy to respond and prevent gender-based violence. I acknowledge the comments made by the opposition leader that we need to put more money. Absolutely, we need to put more money. But there has to be a start. And we started in 2021. For the first time, the government started allocating some resources towards implementing the strategy. The strategy was launched in 2016, Mr. Speaker. Did not get any funding until 2021. And that must be acknowledged. Huh? Of course, we need to increase it. The challenge is big. It's huge. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, just a small reminder that about every year, 3 million women and girls in our country face gender-based violence. And the prevalence rate is not coming down. It's still spiking. So a lot of work has been done, but we need to do more. But the most important thing is that government is starting to get it right. Parliament is starting to get it right. Now, 1 year on, Mr. Speaker, Prime Minister must be acknowledged and government must be acknowledged. My committee, we are happy to, because we made a lot of recommendations, maybe over 500 recommendations. Many of them are still out there yet to be implemented. But key ones that to get us going are beginning to start to see the light of day. 1 year on, Mr. Speaker and members of Parliament, our people too can acknowledge too, and we must welcome this development is that now, 1 year on, Prime Ministers and Parliament, government has honored its words. We have revised the all 2016 to 2025 national strategy to prevent and respond to gender-based violence, and now we have a new strategy, national strategy to prevent and respond to gender-based violence, 2026 to 2036. So we have another 10-year strategy. That's the important policy metrics or overarching strategy that will enable government, Parliament to start parking resources, as the opposition leader said, maybe increase the resources so that we can start to take real action. So we have made progress. We have made progress. Not only that, but the NEC, under the leadership of the Prime Minister, has also endorsed the National Gender Equality Policy. The Minister for Community Development and Youth, Women and Religion will probably launch it soon. But that's also another milestone that we should celebrate and welcome and acknowledge the work and progress that are being made. The National Gender Equality Policy, Mr. Speaker, was left in abeyance. It lapsed in 2015. From 2015 up to now, there was no revision, no new strategy, and as a result, no allocation of money and resources. Now the NEC has endorsed this new policy. So, Mr. Speaker, members of Parliament, yes, a lot of work needs to be done, but we are getting the fundamentals right. We are getting the overarching policy in place, the strategy in place, the system now is being put in place. For the first time after 2021, national government has set up the national GBV strategy. They've worked out now with the provincial government, all the 21 or 22 provincial government, NCDC and autonomous region of Bougainville included. They've started, all the provincial governments started adopting their provincial strategy to respond to and prevent GBV. So we are making progress, Mr. Speaker and honorable members of Parliament. All our people needs to acknowledge that too, and we all work together. The important challenge now is action. I want to acknowledge too that in this space, national government too has per recommendation of our committee, has put resources to and started to re-energize again the National Council of Women. That's a very important stakeholder. For 13 years, the National Council of Women has been in hibernation, not active, for one reason or another. But last year, Mr. Speaker, national government allocated money. The representatives of the different Provincial Council of Women met in Kavieng. They've elected a new national executive, and the minister and the secretary, community development, are starting to process them now to get the National Council of Women going. That's an important platform for women and girls of our country. Yes, we can decide and make decisions for women and girls, but they must have their own platform too. They must be able to define their own life. What is good for women and girls of our country? Being equal citizens of their country. Defining how they want to live in their country, what is best for them, enjoying the benefits and the resources and opportunities of their country. So this development too, we must acknowledge and welcome. I want to acknowledge too that, Mr. Speaker, Parliament too, we have made addition that might be like just a gesture token, but it's still also very, very important steps that we are taking to acknowledge and create space for women and girls of our country. The appointment of Honorable Francisca Somoso as an Assistant Speaker. Mr. Speaker, your office should be congratulated because you have allowed a woman to become Assistant Speaker for the first time in the history of our nation. 50 years on, we are starting to create the environment, see what needs to be done, and we are making progress. However, small steps, but this small step will help us to redefine the future for all of us. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, yes, a lot of things needs to be done. Gender-based violence is a big problem in our country. It's a major impediment to progress of women and girls. Even in this city as governor, Mr. Semtuya, it's a traumatic experience for women and girls in our city just to live normal lives, just to get to the bus stop, just to have a ride on the bus, just to go to the market or go to a hotel or movies. Or they have to look behind their back. Are they safe or not? Mr. Speaker, honorable members of parliament, we can't allow that type of lifestyle to continue in our country. We cannot pass on that type of culture, bad habit to the next generation. We have an obligation, responsibility. This generation, we must start to do the right thing. And we give to our children, the next generation, a better country, a foundation for them to lift our country, their country, to become better than it was in the last 50 years. So, Mr. Speaker, members of parliament, we are gradually, by increment, taking basic steps to get us there. And I thank the Prime Minister and leader of government business for honoring your words today. This month of March is a month that is dedicated to celebrating and also acknowledging and challenging ourselves to take action to improve the rights of women, to promote equality, to take action. This month in March, like every year, is a year that is dedicated to women and girls of each nation of the world. On the 8th of March is the International Women's Day. We are members of the United Nations. We have subscribed to the United Nations goals, and including the Sustainable Development Goals. One of the important part of those goals is to promote gender equality and women's empowerment.
Honorable Governor.
Yes.
Masih interrupting you, Sam. Also, time you allowed Loilo Tok you have 10 minutes.
All right, Mr.
So because I'm important issue. Milarim you lo finish him talk lo you.
All right, I'll scale it down now. I'm about to end now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the 24th of March is also the National Women's Day. So last year, Prime Minister made a commitment, Mr. Speaker, and members of Parliament, we passed a resolution that every March, in every year, we will dedicate a session to addressing this very important human rights and development challenge, addressing the status of women and girls in our country, and we have honored that. So I'm, on behalf of my committee, making all the recommendations. We thank the Prime Minister, thank the government, thank Parliament, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for all of us to honor this day, this month, and making this special session dedicated to addressing this very important agenda that affects the entire country, not just half the population, but the entire country. Mr. Speaker, the strategy is ready now. It's up to all of us now to go and take action and implement it. I congratulate the Minister and all the teams that have worked together. I want to acknowledge too that the development partners, especially the United Nations, particularly UNFPA, they supported the government to revise the old strategy and formulate the new strategy. I want to acknowledge too the government of Korea, I think through the agency KOICA. They have supported the government and the process well, and we are here now on this day ready to launch this new strategy now. I think it will take place in the State Function Room, and after the session, Mr. Speaker, everybody is all welcome to join the Minister and the Prime Minister to just formally launch the strategy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Me Harim also me got question be putting but no sing out strong. But planning member election up, only like discuss it long the spla. Debate because I mean important it touch him lewa blue email katalaga. So now me like look sabelo member blo not wagi blo administrative is sapastem member blo not wagi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing me. Okay, we are discussing a very important issue in this House. And thank you, Minister for Community Development, Honorable Jason, for bringing up this paper. So every time, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about a sick person. You talk about a sick man. Now, paper Minister Ikaraka, you talk about one sick man. Man, he got sick. Mr. Speaker, when the man got sick, he carried sick, and by talking through sick blow him. One of sick he got, and by talking this doctor or nurse na, so doctor and nurse, and by give him marathon straight, so that then by kill him this sick blow him. Mr. Speaker, plenty time you miss a talk problem, blood this country. Tell him not find the right marathon, lo kill him this sick. This laws you mean meant long. You discuss the kind of solution. Lo can ever come up. Now this is gender violence, and we want the big issue, lo country. Mr. Speaker, time me karam this sick money go. Now you talk no em got this sick, you miss I give straight sutna marasin na so finish. Now you mean man, lo this gram. You may stop. You may get sample parts. You make up human being. You may say look ta solo body ta solo na you may say talk. Ta you may say look soul na spirit. Me plenty time you say talk look body ta soul. Ta soul. We said something through him. You cause him problem. Bro man, and his spirit na soul. Mr. Speaker, you man and made up of soul, spirit, and soul, mind. Tell you plenty time you say lulu body na mind ta soul na you know say lulu spirit. This la man am sick man lo spirit na soul. No sick man outside the body. You put him in calaboosh, and by come stop 10 years or 20 years, Mr. Speaker, and by not, and by come back in, and by make him seem something yet, because I'm sick person, or something him stab inside of bell blow him. This is so temporary solution. You may like one the last solution. You must look man, human being. You man, and me made up of one of something. Such man and me made up of soul and spirit. Okay, even sometimes you must look soul and spirit. Now me look him, Mr. Speaker, you must look soul and spirit. You must look body not thinking the soul. Bottle beer and stuff like here. Bottle beer and by not yet and by not going sell a mouse. I'm yet by not go. bottle beer and one lemon by buying cotton beer, having bottle, put in a mouse now, rousing elite blowing, now then one of them having beer. Beer, me them by not go. A man inside, Emmy, costing him, holding beer, now putting him inside of mouse lane. Always sending money cost him a problem inside of this man. A man name is sick man. Now you must find the right medicine law, kill him this sick inside of bell. Man by not fighting Mary. No good. Man by not fighting Mary. Told him inside money and make him now the man and to my go outside and make him. And I'm yet by now inside money and talk you move man na fighting Mary. Now and Mary and money fighting him. And the problem inside the spirit blow man, na soul blow man. So you must talk, Mr. Speaker, you must talk, law. Fighting way blow. Straight the man inside the spirit, the soul. All the service you mean give him country. Anybody not sending man too? Anybody not sending man, Mr. Speaker? Anybody not sending man? You must send man past time. Now be a man, this man and by sending society. You like sending society like sending man. Man by none of change. You change a man past time. Now be this man by sending society. Now you make a big law and other problem, the issue of this country. Me looking, you mean no concentrate on development of human being. You may say total outside something, outside something, but not looking to. This house and mouse blood man, you must threaten Sudan blood man past time. Mr. Speaker. We talk straight, huh? Also, you may come from different background, huh? You look. Come up na lab, me come one lab where Mr. Walk one time all beginning. And I mean, time best to change some behavior and attitude blow also. If some Mr. looking also, he got some parts inside the human being where me by develop. Me no lulu body na intellectual development as well. Mr. Lulu spirit na soul too. Na just a Mr. discipline or finish I come up good. Now the country you need him just like kind something. Now you make a big Bible and stand on Savior. Now you may want them just like Bible. You may take him lost soul and spirit. Now this is by help him contribute you meet. Now me talk thank you Lord. This is like topic and minister you've been carrying on. Now one last Sunday by you make him lost soul and spirit. Ev no God, this is save money and by now change him. Okay, Sunday you make him by now change him. Me like him, you may be plant the house too. Plant the house too. Walking plant the house too. All man by going inside the house too na inside the spirit na soul and by sense. Walking plant the Bible college. Na salem plant the old man, young man, medical Bible college na come a pastor na schooling old man lo place na but now young man magi. And by sense too. You developing policeman. No God. Same time policeman and by deal with them body. Tasal pastor and by deal with them soul and spirit. Na by true and by sense man. Them simple strategy where you can find solution. Last solution by me find them. Also, the Master Speaker, me, working this little contribution, so that me like him, you put him working plant the house too. Now Salem plant the old Maigolo Bible School. Now inside the curriculum, you mean, education curriculum, you mean, put in some religion studies inside. Put in some curriculum blong, schooling will mangilo, talk blong God inside of this curriculum. Talk blong God, that's all by sending some life. But you got Bible study now, you mean not make use of this Bible. Curriculum sends him. You mean like him, future blow, this country come up bright. Now, you may talk again, now you may talk again, one of Sunday, you may plan, now you may harvest him. You may harvest him. I must man. Yes, I must la Prime Minister stuff. Now one of something will plan learn. Now you may harvest him. And now you may harvest him. So after 50 years, by me harvesting one of something. By you harvesting same something. Go la life old man. Na change him all. Change him curriculum. Change him curriculum for education. Now this la preschool. 166 curriculum. Education policy now. Maybe by implementing. One name also preschool. Another 6 grade 1 up to 6, another 6 grade 7 up to 12. Everybody you produce complete human being. Good. Tali must got sampler, sounding spirit, na soul must have inside. Legislative policy. Now by you looking country by change. Was young people beginning and bell blow them nubla thing. Nokat one standing all plan lo nemo sem nubla ground. So time you put him nubla curriculum with them. Good luck, character na. Samla good luck something. Blo help all magi. What they talk long good. And by looking all picnic come big la. After 50 years, but you not looking all say something. Nokat true. And by not looking all say something. So na me, amma so sem. Me go inside the program. Me start one program close to 30 years. Me want money, believe education, Christian education. Na me plan the same sort. Me total practical life. Me talking this laws. Master Speaker. Na narla something. Me looking. Past time all papa master all those fight. Na now all fight. Was you making plenty wrong, Mr. Speaker. Human rights. You make kind of sample international organization all come here Papua New Guinea all talk human rights. You make a custom na tradition below you stop. Custom na tradition below you have solid good community. So now you invite him also international community come na talk human rights. Now talk child rights, women rights, youth rights, all the rights now left right now talk me got rights, me got rights. Right now talk. Then look him all make him kind something. Look him. So you make a tradition, a custom, you make stuff. You make a law, you make stuff. You must adopt him just lana. Look at them country, you can borrow him or something outside. They can implement him inside here. Now you go inside the problem outside. Open up, come and deal with problem like me, Mr. Speaker. Now, lastly, time and change. Time change. Now climate change here. Nambis mangoes are growing now. Antabe islands of mango grow. Now coconut them grow. Waraya now I'm tight come up now looking some island and come up finish. Time change. Now passing the month to change. You may move one time change here. You say change here, change the world. World and change. Man two life man two and change too. Now two you may make your policy once and you must go one time change long. This is change now then by you go right. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am a little contribution to me. Thank you.
You would like to get all minister. Me must entertain him question before now. Siaba is entertain him, but before Sia, I may entertain him. Title of the Islamani sit down on Sia, I'll call him speaker. Now speaker will talk between them, mean one them, pass him out. Hey, this is man, me must send him, because me sit down here, pass him out, me no say debate, all discussion, you me him. So now this fella now, we must make you humble have talk before you finish. All honorable members, me look sabe all same this la discussion and me touch him lewa blue email kita. Na you must talk. Suppose you mean you must call on night. And you must call on night. So me all member li kirap some like kirap go outside. Na this la all same a question be put ikam na me must entertain him. But before me entertain him, me man blow story. Inside of this story me lagi you blow pick him. Mrs. Tabia, time me gulo manus, mi puna no momoti. Airport, music simol kita man penis. Me ambai companies. Abinun mi gulo house ya, emol istat kam stop penis weti mi istala house penis. Mama I walk lo obi si kam. Embasanab lo house cook now. Kolos lo walk ya istat bed lo skin lo ni sanab lo house cook. I go na big night. Sometimes ako 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, na mo si mulpelet. Minasalibrал some members of parliament. But me sa kamapol siyam. Na me ask him, ask him. Desla me abuse blo, desla marry blo, me onakat. You blayet one ask him, desla ask him. Time me look trang blo, marry blo, me na me dog, desla me abuse onakat, time isa ko big night, ne ko early hours of the morning. I'm sanabi house cook because of politics. Also, to go to something to start one of you leaders. Laga. Na yumi this fla issue and me touch email kita. So you start lo email kita. You know got opposition. Na you know got one of this fla issue. And yumi all kita members of parliament. Na yumi leaders. Na ba yumi go back lo one place lo yumi district. It doesn't need money to start. Yumi go na start bonging more people na start talk lo. Start inside the home blue email, pigini man, blue me. Now all narpla. Hap talk you more talk women, girls na this la. Nungu this la hap talk me long way too much. You make bring him come back talk. Mama blo yumi, Susa blo yumi, Pigini Mary blo yumi, na Mary blo yumi. Nungu this language you must use him. Time you talk women and girls, and you make him reference all Mary na that's all. Time you talk Mama blo me, Susa blo me, Mary blo me, Pigini Mary blo me, and we more close to the level of me. Language you must make him. Some 30 years ago, Penis. Man, lo maiden speech blown inside lo this lo floor of parliament. Now one time talk yes ngam na tede you blay sanap na yimi talk na you blay talk you bring him this la. And lo maiden speech blown lo 1996, 30 years ago. And me talk also. My life begins on the lap of a woman and ends on the lap of a woman. Mil sim this la lo yimil kita. No dia di gona scale me min one. I pass on this fla discussion him golongan. All sem ta solna. The question is that the question be now put. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Leader of government business. Before missing out him you, lo make him talk lo you. Me like make him this a look sabe lo la Mary. Usare mi one member, one work lo him inside the parliament. Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment. After a long time, me makes him sick. Work you make him and pressure work. Na plan you how much la member lo him now will go down to the second sick na. And me come back in and me sit down na me lo yimi. You may make him say look sabe na welcome lo you lo come back. Na thank you through big money stop. Na you come back stop na me lo yimi. One time the Islam missing out now, lo leader of government business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the debate be adjourned. Oh, pardon me, Speaker. Speaker, I ask leave of Parliament to move a motion without notice.
Is leave granted? Leave granted, leader of government business?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the leave of absence be granted to Honorable Timothy Massieu, Minister for Information and Communication Technology, Mr. Lucas Dekena, Minister for Education, Mr. William Powie, Member for Southern Highlands Provincial, and Mr. Lino Tom, Member for Wabeck Open Electorate, for the duration of this meeting due to ill health.
The question is, the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Leader of government business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, Parliament now is adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.